Signal's clean. Range 20 meters. 18. 17 meters. 15 meters. 13 meters.
That's right outside the door.
Man, this is a big fucking signal. 12 meters. 11. 10. 9 meters. 8 meters. 7. 6. It's reading right, man. Look. 5 meters, man. 4. What the hell?
Hey everybody, what's up? This is my debut stream. We're getting kicked off here, and it looks like everything went right so far. There's a little backstory there. When I was trying to get all this stuff working and everything, this computer just kept turning off, like, randomly. So I'm just giving everybody a heads up that if the stream suddenly just cuts out, that is due to essentially the computer just turned off. So I will try to be back, but it's like, you know, just plan for the worst, and so that's what we're doing. And you guys can see I've got my tight 3 Wolf Moon shirt on, and with this shirt I have the strength of 2 bears that have the strength of 10 bears, so it's all good. We've got a lot of stuff I'm going to show you guys today. That's what's showing on over here, down here, and this webcam. All right. And the Sapper Steve, thank you for the follow. It's going to be really cool. So the topic of the day is what's going on over here. So we're going to talk about the road ahead, and then go over like an Adepticon overview of what we're going to be doing. Then I'm going to move over to the table cam, and assuming it stays glued up there. That's the other technical problem we're having. So if you guys are playing the Long War drinking game as usual, that applies to this too. So if you see any technical difficulties, just start go ahead and let's see, Maddie with Fatty. I am not Rob. I can't get away with no pants, and you'll see why in a little moment, because I'm going to be getting up and moving around and everything like that. So the reason I'm leaning over here is because that's where my iPad is. That's where I've got the chat streaming up, so I can see that. Oh, all right. Vasquez is just rocking out today. Thanks for the follow, Maddie with the Fatty. There's Vasquez again. Oh, that's Robbie B in the hizzy. All right. So what's going on up here is War Boys are all as everybody who's giving me a follow. If I can hit 100 follows tonight during the stream, we are going to do a giveaway. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is just yet. I can tell you that it is not something super expensive, but it is really cool. It is Warhammer 40k related. And pretty soon, it might be rare. It might be a collector's item, in fact. But as we get more follows, we'll just keep divulging what it is until we reveal it. Orc Pride, no crotch shots. Yeah, so, where was I? Oh, anyway, we're going to go over the display concept. And then what I'm going to try to do is, some of you guys may or may not know this, but I also collect replica movie props. So what I'm going to try to do is bring out a prop every week and give you a little bit of the history of that prop, what movies it came from. Some props have been used in multiple films that aren't even related. So we're going to go over that. Some of my props are real, some of them are not. Most of them are replicas. A lot of them I made myself. And that's some of the skills that we're going to put to use, making things like display boards and stuff like that. Then we're going to actually start cutting foam core. And as a lot of you know, architects, they always design their stuff with... Oh, is Slow Fuse coming? I'm going to get raided. Okay. And, oh yeah, by all means. Karn is going to go get some bros. And normally... Oh, somebody's been witnessed. Mad Ivan, you have been witnessed. Thank you for the follow. Normally, Chaos would not be welcome because they're heretics. But everybody is welcome in the stream. This is a hate-free zone. So we're all good. Oh, it's Son of Bjorn, which is such a tight name. Such a tight name. If you guys don't know, the 3 Wolf Moon, that's because I play Space Wolves. So, but we're going to actually try to cut some foam core. I have a good friend of mine named Liz, who is an architect, and she talked to me about how they rough out everything in foam core beforehand. And so we're going to try to do that, but we'll probably have to take a short break before then because I just realized I left all my pins and all that stuff upstairs. So classic. If something's going to go wrong, oh yeah, the salt. I am not salty today.
Deployed.
There we go. Rule 347, Marine Squad deployed. Welcome, Battle Brother. I am not salty today because the new St. Celestine rules came out, and I saw them, and I saw that they were good, and they're amazing. She could possibly be one of the most broken characters in 40K right now. And then we're going to introduce a thing called balsa foam, and it's a really cool way to get some sculpting done. I bought actually enough balsa foam by accident to make the entire display board. However, I don't even know how much time we have until Adepticon. I have no idea. It's like, I know that I am wheels up, gone, on the way to Chicago, March 20th, out to my buddy Dave's house. And he's got a pretty good Beats Lab out there, so we're going to finish whatever I need to finish in his Beats Lab until Adepticon starts. But I need to ship it. Sarkarius, entering via drop pod, excellent. Thank you for the follow. Will all the puddles be filled with salt water? I'll have to think on that. There's definitely gonna be some salt, but it's less salty than I was before. And then we'll do a recap on and talk about where we're gonna go from there. So that's essentially what we got to cover. One other thing that I want to talk about is that I am kind of a raconteur of tales by personality, by habit. But by trade, I am a professional liar. Some of you may not know, but I am an author. So sometimes I'm going to tell some stories, and the truth level of those stories probably is going to vary, like, significantly. So don't expect me to actually tell the truth 100% of the time. If I'm talking about Vietnam or Korea or something like that, chances are didn't happen. If I start a story with true story, probably don't believe anything that I'm going to say. If you guys see like this little pop-up up here where it says like this never happens, that is my like covered disclaimer that it's only happening inside my head. So it's like exactly 40K Sue says don't trust a thing I say. That is exactly right. And so I just wanted to get that out ahead of time. And Stephen King talked about it. It's like he might be telling a story of something that happened, but his brain will just kick in and he'll make it a better story than what really happened. And then all of a sudden people call him out on it and go, hey, that's not the way it went down. You know, you're embellishing stuff. And that's what happens. So I just wanted to just get that out there as well. So, all right. So let's start off with the road ahead. So what this, you might see that it's called like sub-level 3 down here. The reason it's called sub-level 3 and the reason I started with the whole aliens thing is I'm a huge aliens fan. And my basement is actually called sub-level 3. And that's where we are right now. This is my Beats Lab. It is my basement. You can see I've got the Aquila flag over here. I've got Rohan behind me. Gondor is over there off screen. You'll see it later. There's kind of crazy stuff all around. And that's that's essentially what's going to go on. But this stream, what I'm trying to target with this stream, at least in the short term, is trying to pass on the skills that go beyond painting, go beyond just hobbying in general. We're going to talk about construction techniques. We're going to talk about making display boards, casting stuff, how to make your own bases, things like that. You know, in fact, with this display board, we're going to be doing stained glass. We're going to be doing casting, electronics, LEDs, all kinds of crazy stuff. So we really want to just tie into that because that's what this whole stream is going to be about overall. But we've got to focus, and the focus is Adepticon. So here's what happened. Last Adepticon, we played Chaos again, the Long War team. played Chaos. And I started getting a little salty about that. And the reason is that whenever I'm on somebody's Adepticon team, it seems like I'm always playing on a team where they don't play any armies that I play. And that was yet again the case. But as you know, Kenny and Rob are both big into Chaos. So when they yeah, Karn, it is super exciting. It is actually super exciting. I feel like Tank, like in the Matrix. You remember it was like Tank, and he ran the stuff, and he was born in Zion. He didn't have any plugs, and his brother was Dozer, and Tank was like all super excited. He was like, "This is so exciting, you know. I'm gonna show you all this stuff and everything." And that's how I feel right now. It's like when we are done with this, you know, Road to Adepticon part of the stream, we're gonna know Kung Fu, and it's just gonna be incredibly dope. So that's what I'm hoping to carry on. But to get back to the Road to Adepticon, once again we were playing, and we started playing Chaos. So I was just like, oh man, and I was at least able to play Thousand Suns, which I feel are not really Chaos, even though they are the traditional enemies of the Space Wolves. I feel like they're not really Chaos. So, because it was all a misunderstanding. So I got to play that and had a good time and everything like that. But if you hear it, my side of the story is that it was all right. Kenny, Rob, and Juice tell a different story. They say that I was extremely salty and really pissed off the entire weekend, and that is not true. I have a case of resting bitch face, and if I'm not grinning from ear to ear, it looks like I'm angry. So what we wound up doing is we did win Best Heretical team, by the way, which was really cool. But what we wound up doing is Kenny kind of got back at me by saying, hey, you know, you get to pick the army that we play next year. So I was just like, all right, that seems fair. That's all right. But I jumped immediately to all the armies I play, which... Oh, okay. Thank you for the follow, 40K Sue. She's digging out Vasquez again. So they, so I chose Inquisition. That is my first love. When I first got into 40K, I walked into a Games Workshop store, was looking at everything, saw the Grey Knight. This is end of 3rd edition. Saw the new Grey Knight Terminators, which were at the time probably the tightest models GW had ever put out. Saw the entire Demon Hunters Codex. Opened that up, saw that it was Ordo Malleus, and it just called to me, and I was just like, I'm Inquisition from then on. So I said, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play Sisters, Inquisition with like an AdMech force attached to it, Grey Knights, and Deathwatch. And this was before Deathwatch actually had their own codex. We were gonna use Space Marines to kind of proxy to count as Deathwatch. What's that? All you heard was blah 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 demons. Thanks, Rob. That's awesome. Oh, did I say AdMech? I didn't mean AdMech. I meant Astra Militarum, not AdMech. I am sorry, Diagonal Fire. So a couple of things happened since then. So Deathwatch got their own book. Grey Knights pretty much stayed the same. Sisters got their own book, but now they stayed the same. But then we get Celestine, which is super awesome. And then Inquisition has pretty much stayed the same. And I was really hoping for the Imperial Agents book to take off, and it kind of didn't. So it fizzled and died. And I think if you're playing Kill Team, it is a phenomenal book. If you're playing Combat Patrol, it is incredible. If you're playing kind of a larger tournament like Adepticon that limits the format, it doesn't work for us. So we're just going to run it the way we planned on running it. And yeah, oh, exactly. Oh, so sad. But that's what we're going to try to do. So I decided that we're not playing Eldar and Tau. So our chances of winning games are slim. but we stand a really good chance of winning some other prizes. And I set it on the display, the Army Best Army Display Competition. I feel that's something that we can achieve. So that is what this stream is going to be about, and in the short term, that's what we're going to try to do. So I'm going to try to switch things around here, and I'm going to move over to the table, and I'm going to start sketching out an actual concept. That's what we're going to be doing for the next couple minutes or so, and we'll see how this works. So I got to reposition this shot here, and we'll see. Hey, okay. So we've got the jig cam. You can see the top down. The lighting is a little hinky, and we'll try to work with it as best we can. And you guys are going to have to bear with me. I'm going to have to move this camera around. So, all right. And I think that should work right there. I'll get my bottle of iced tea so I don't have to be doing Marco Rubio all the time. Oh, you've been witnessed. All right. So I'm just still getting set up. I'm sorry, guys. It's taking me just a second here. And, of course, the phone rings because I didn't turn off the ringer. So that's awesome. And thank you, Cheesy Poofs, for the follow. All right. Move this over here so I can look left. Okay. So let's move this over a little bit. So we've got that. There we go. Okay. So we're just gonna, I'm just trying to see and make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay. All right. So the idea is, hopefully you guys can see this when I start drawing. I want to have a stuff's already falling. Oh well. Okay, so I do have a face hugger. There's a couple actually around. If you look around, there might be another one in frame too. They're all over the place. Those things are like vermin. They just keep recreating. So, all right. So what we're going to start with is this is just a concept, and for anybody who's been to Adepticon and seen the displays, you know these things range from, you know, an entire, last year the guys who won, I think they had like a coffin that was, you know, full-size coffin that was filled with like corn skulls and all kinds of just insanity, for lack of a better word. It was just crazy. So they range from that size to about, you know, something you can put on the table. There was a couple of years back, there was a ship that was to scale. It was a Battlefleet Gothic ship to scale, and it was like an orc cruiser, if I remember right. Yeah, Jammin 428 says, I am deathly afraid of facehuggers, by the way. That is true, and that is because when I was younger, a lot younger, turns out, but still old enough to see aliens in the theater, I'm afraid to say, my mom thought it would be a really good idea to take me to see Alien, because she thought it was a science fiction movie, which of course it is, and I loved science fiction. So I was always into Star Trek and all that stuff from a young age. So went to go see Alien. Turns out not a really good movie for a young guy to see. You know, so I was good with the movie until the scene where they start to cut Kane's helmet off and you see the tail wrap around his neck. And then I was kind of done. My mom says that I watched the rest of the movie like in between the seats, and I vaguely remember stuff about Jonesy the first time I saw it. But yeah, from then on, I mean, face huggers and me, not friends. So of course, when I get into replica prop making, what do I make a ton of? Face huggers, because they stick with me. So the displays range from a bunch of different sizes. They can be small, they can be huge. Ours, what we're going to aim for is about 4 feet. And the reason I came to that decision was we're going to have 4 armies, 4,000 point armies. And so 12 inch by 12 inch is a pretty good size to display about 1,000 points of. Keep in mind, all the Inquisition armies, they are small, they are elite, they are not a whole lot of figures going on. So even though we do have guard in there that are going to take up room, we can spread the guard out over 4 feet, but everybody else isn't going to be taking that much room. By the way, I should probably mention, we don't have army lists yet. Like, we haven't decided what army we're going to play other than the factions. So, and Kenny did say he wanted to run like 6 penitent engines, because I do have that. So I was like, well, it could be fun, and it's gonna be interesting. Oh, okay, somebody got a good follow there, and I should have measured this out, but I didn't. So things may turn out lopsided. It's not a big deal. Let me just go over here for just a second. And thank you for the follow, R. Dilgert. I think that's the way you pronounce it. All right. So let me try to do this a little bit more scientifically and actually measure it out so we're not crazy. That's 18 inches right there. And this is basically just going to be a rough sketch. So we're just going to go, that's about halfway right here. And all we're going to do with this is just, hoping, oh, you guys can't really see the lines I'm drawing. Maybe if I used a fatter marker. This is stuff I'm gonna have to work at. Don't worry, we're not gonna be sketching stuff that much longer. And thank you for the follow. I think it's Kagetora 74. Can I zoom in? I can try. Give me a second. I don't know how clear it's going to stay if I zoom in, but we'll give it a whirl. Hey, look at that. Hey, that's better. That is maximum zoom, unfortunately. And I will also use a thicker marker. So let me go over this with a thicker. We'll see how those lines show up. And I apologize for the inevitable study in male pattern baldness, but that's what's going on with my head. So not much I can do there. So what we're looking at is this is going to be, it's obviously not to scale, and it's obviously not going to be that tall. So the other criteria I wanted to do was I didn't want to put a whole lot of time into a display board that never got used again. Because that's what normally happens is people, they spend a lot of time on their display boards. Some people, I think those guys who were with the corn coffin that won last year, they had been working on it for the entire year, like literally. So obviously we don't have a year. We have, a little less than 2 months, so good times there. But I wanted it to be, let's see here, that's about 6. Go a little bit higher, just to try to make it give a better accurate idea of what we want to do. This will be so what we're going to do is make a display board that after we're done with Adepticon can be used as terrain. So it's going to be modular somewhat, and it is no doubt ambitious. Let's see. Spray can primer versus Vallejo brush on primer. Which one should you use? I would go with the spray can as well. I agree with Rob. The spray can, it's like, I think P3 makes a really, really good primer where they have a different nozzle on it, and it goes on extremely, extremely fine. That's really good. It is a little bit pricey. It's not as pricey as GW's, the Citadel's, which is a good primer also. And then you also have, I also like this one called Rust-Oleum. It's like it has 2X on there. So it's like a 2-time cover primer. You have to be careful with that one though. It is cheaper, but it will obscure detail. KPower55, thank you for the follow. Oh, Ogre 213. Here's what we're doing. We are building a display board for Adepticon. That's what we're working towards. So this entire stream is going to be about the road to Adepticon in the short term. Beyond that, we'll find out what we're going on. But right now, you're essentially going to watch me get ready for Adepticon. I have 4 armies to paint. One of them is painted, however. My Grey Knights are done. My Inquisition is not done. And I just reprimed my sisters. They were painted, but I had my own sisters, and then I had some that were from a local gamer here who got out of the hobby, and he sold me his sisters, which were a different paint scheme. So luckily, sisters being metal, I stripped them all and reprimed them all. Because, like, why not? Cortez burned his ships, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I did. So now I have no choice but to paint them. And I still have to build and paint Deathwatch. So you'll get to see me paint Sisters, paint Deathwatch, paint some Inquisition stuff, all in a very short amount of time. And what I'm going for on this is going to be kind of an 80% to 90% solution. As far as looking tabletop ready, tabletop good. But right now, we're just concentrating on the display board, and what I'm doing is laying out the concept that I have for how each display board is going to go. So back to the diagram, you can see we have 4 sections, and the 4 sections are going to be for each army, of course. In each section, it's supposed to be 12 inches, but this is obviously not to scale. But that's going to be, and JR Caldero, thank you for the follow. So this is going to be 12 as well. And just as a quick note, is it a job or a hobby? No, this is a hobby. This is definitely a hobby. Sometimes it feels like a job. But it is a hobby. So also, what's going on up here with the War Boys, and the follows, if we hit 100 follows this stream, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a giveaway. And it is something Warhammer 40K related. It is a game, I will tell you guys that much. And it is very cool, very fun, and you can play it single player. So each time I'll talk about it, I'll give a little hint as to what it is. It is not rare now, but in a couple of years, it might be rare. So we'll just have to see if we can get there. All right, folks are talking about that. I'm going to keep going here. And I'm just going to freehand some stuff since this is just concept here. We're just going to do this. And I can already see I'm running into some trouble because I didn't account for this top spire here, but that's all right. So what I want to do is have kind of a cathedral, like a ruined cathedral that has been taken over and is being used as kind of a staging ground for the forces of the Inquisition. They've basically made a landing. They are, this is off by quite a bit. Thank you for the follow. Let me go over here just a sec here. Just make sure that. And I hope that answers your question, Ogre213, and thank you for the follow. So yeah, that's not the greatest thing, but yeah, as Kenny likes to say, I'm not an artist. I am a scientist, kind of, sort of, engineer, but yeah, thank you, Ogre213. One more step closer. We'll have a giveaway. And so it's going to look like that. Then I want to have a big spire up here. And the idea for this is that this is going to be, I haven't really figured out which army is going to go where, but we're going to have an Aquila up here, So, like that. So that'd be the Aquila with the two heads. Terrible sketch, but we get the idea. And then over here, and all these would of course be ruined. So there'd be, broken pieces of wall and bits and stuff like that here. We're going to have, I am not Howard Wolowitz from the Big Bang Theory, because I'm not really like a scientist. I'm more of an engineer, but I have done some stuff. All right. So what I want here is, I'm thinking the Death Watch and the Grey Knights might be the smallest contingents. So they might be towards the ends. And what I wanted to do was have kind of a stained glass window here. And we don't, I don't know what shape it's going to take yet. We'll see. But a stained glass window in each one. So and in each one we're going to have a representative, a hero of whatever that faction is. So for Grey Knights, you might have some artwork of Stern or something like that. For Sisters, it's obviously going to be Celestine. I don't know if you guys have seen the artwork that's inside this box here. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and open that and show you guys, because they really went all out with this box. I mean, I'm sure Robbie's going to do if he hasn't done already, a stellar unboxing. But they included some artwork here that is just begging. It's just like, holy cow, It is really amazing. So they've got this. I'm going to just bring it a little closer to the camera here so you guys can see. It is just absolutely incredible. So they did that. So I want to do something like that. I might actually cut this out, and you'll see the sneaky way we're going to cheat at stained glass. That's going to be obviously in a couple weeks. That's not going to be like tonight, because that's a lot of work. And Oh, thanks, Ironheaded. Welcome, welcome aboard. Um, so we've got the stained glass things here. We'll probably have a symbol up here for each guy. This will be, oh boy, a horrible fleur-de-lis. Terrible. Eye of the Inquisition here, you know. And then the Death Watch, which will be another Eye of the Inquisition. But they've got a skull on there. So that's Death Watch. And then Grey Knights over here with their book and the sword going through it. And then I want to have like a statue on the floor, and it's going to be a little harder to represent here. But if this was the floor for this section, and that's where, you know, we're going to position the armies. So we'd have a statue or something. Oh, Ironheaded, thank you for the follow. And it would be coming up, you know, from here up. It's some kind of statue. So some dude standing there. And the statue, you know, this'll, for the sisters, that statue, I can already tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be the old Saint Celestine model. You know, and we'll probably use her starts castle molds to make this statue, or to make the, like a fountain or something, a plinth that the statue is standing on. And it could be really, really awesome to have, like, if these were fountains, because then it lets us do water effects. Obviously not real water. As much as I would love to be pumping real water in there, we are in like a hotel kind of con environment, so it's very limited what you can do. You don't have access to power, so everything that we're going to do as far as electronics wise or whatever has to be battery powered. So that's going to be interesting. And an interesting challenge. You guys get to see me try out a bunch of different stuff.
Spider battle mode now.
Oh no! Somebody unlocked Leopardon Spider battle mode. That's just oh, okay. Noted. And Son of Bjorn is the one who unlocked the Spider battle mode. Give me just a second, guys, because I guess the autofocus is playing havoc here. And I did not realize that. I apologize, but this is a new stream, and I'm just learning the ropes. Alright, so let me try to manually, autofocus is off now. We'll manually focus it. And I see this is like really towards the bottom of the camera. I'm going to push it this way a bit. Hopefully that'll... Oh no! Galvatron in the house, coming in hot. Yeah. Ironheaded, thank you for the donate. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Oh, and if you guys see this bar at the top here, where is it? Right there. That is when we reach that goal, when we fill up that bar, I will give away a Storm Raven. And whoever will do it, will do a giveaway. Whoever wins that gets to pick what chapter livery it is, whatever you want. I will paint it as that chapter with whatever decals, whatever livery you want, and we will do that on the air. So it'll be really cool. I have... obviously Kenny is the like sick tech, you know, and Rob does a lot of really good painting as well. My technique is I paint whole armies in a weekend because I have a rule, a personal rule. It's that I don't play with unpainted stuff. I have a lot of armies. At one point I had 18 armies. Now I've scaled back. I got rid of a lot of my Xenos except for Necrons. So I paint very quickly. And basically I'm just going to show you guys how to take a painting rubric for a tournament and be still able to get close to max points in a very, very short amount of time. And some of the techniques I use are cheating, but I think that 80% of painting is, a lot of it is skill, obviously, but 80% is technique. It's learned technique, it's learned how to do certain things, and then you can get results extremely quickly instead of trying to figure it out. And a lot of it is cheating, frankly. You can get a 70% result instead of dramatic lining, for dramatic highlighting. You can get a 70% result doing some dry brushing and getting away with murder. Yeah, exactly. Or right. And that's part of the whole thing, is I'm going to teach you guys how to work smarter. You're going to hobby smarter instead of hobbying harder, and that's kind of the whole idea for here. White Scars versus Orcs. Oh, good hearing that. Viking Teabagger, I guess, just smashed some Orcs with some White Scars. That's unfortunate for the Orcs, but it happens. It is only cheating if you're losing. I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure that's exactly right. But in any case, this concept for these fountains and everything, we're going to have to do water effects. We're going to have to do streaming water effects to show how water is actually coming out of the fountains to make it look like it's pumping. What I would also like to do is pump some smoke out from here, some fog. But now I have a line on a couple of things that could work. There's a thing called the wizard stick that is kind of a kid's toy that you hold in your hand, and you put a little fog fluid in there, and it pumps out some fog. There's these little garden foggers that you put in water. They're battery powered. They run off batteries, and they create fog. So we're going to have to experiment with that and see what's going on. But essentially, we're going to have statues, which is going to be old miniatures, except for the Death Watch, because that's probably going to be Battle Brother Artemis. Over here, this will probably be an old Katia's mini that I have that we'll paint up to look like marble. St. Celestine. And over here, maybe Stern, or... yeah, Stern's a good one. So we'll just Fishy66, thank you for the follow. So we'll just do this. And Matthews 101, thank you for the follow. So this will be Stern, Celestine coming back from the dead, and Kotias, and this will be Artemis. And that's pretty much what we want to do. Over here, though, I wanted stuff in the background, like up against the walls. So here, what I want to do for the Grey Knights is, since Kenny is most likely going to take, 6 penitent engines, for Adepticon, they limit the amount of, force organization charts you can take. So only one team is allowed to take more than one heavy. So 6 penitent engines, that takes up our 2 heavy slots right there. So that's going to go to Sisters. So Grey Knights are going to go with 1 heavy, which is going to be a Dread Knight, because Dread Knights just do business. They're the bomb. That is a good point. RC tanks have some very small smoke generators, which I could be able to find in an RC hobby store. And I thought about using that and the locomotions for locomotive. Can't talk. Locomotives for little HO scale trains and stuff. Some of them have smoke generators in there. That is, this is not my Bits cup. It is my swear jar. I'm trying to cut down on swearing. And yeah, the reason it's backwards is because I'm using the new C922 Pro camera over there, and it can't be mirrored. It's like Logitech was like, we know better than you. You don't need to mirror your image. And it is actually mirrored now. So this is wrong. This is all flipped around to me. Oh. All right. Yeah, Viking Teabagger saying he really liked the Fall of Cadia book. I actually have not read the Fall of Cadia book. I just read the first opening thing where they were talking about Celestine. So I was just kind of like, oh boy. Annie Cat, thank you for the donate. Getting closer there. Getting closer to the free Storm Raven. So that's going to be pretty cool. Iron-Headed, I cannot mirror it back in OBS. It looks like OBS only has like a vertical flip. It doesn't have a horizontal flip. And if it does, it may very well have that, and I just don't know about it. That is a good idea, Orc Pride, when I swear I pull money out instead of putting money in. That would be kind of cool. All right, so yeah, so anyway, we were talking about the heavy support choices. So we're going to take a Dread Knight, because Dread Knights are the bomb. And honestly, they're one of the few things in the Grey Knight Codex that do honest, serious business. In my opinion, if you have a Dread Knight kitted out properly with Sanctuary on it, it's worth more than 5 Terminators, and it's cheaper. And it will do its job. So what I wanted to do here for the Dread Knight is we're going to have like a little gantry. Like a mech bay for those of you guys play BattleTech, for lack of a better thing. That's what I kind of wanted in here, was the Dread Knight, you know, sitting in here with his little baby carrier pilot. Oh, little baby, so cute. You know, in there, and then maybe like a little scaffolding or something with some AdMech guys working on it. And then maybe a little bit of LEDs and stuff like that in here to make it look like they've got like little arc welders and stuff like that repairing the Dread Knight. And we kind of want to do the same thing, like with a little bit of electronics all the way around. Of course, we're also going to do backlighting. One of the things that I saw last year when they did their Armies on Parade at Adepticon, they had it in the hallway of the hotel of the event center, which was really great, but the lighting was not the best. And let's see, Viking Teabagger, what are you saying here? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I could see how tense changing would change. One of the interesting things that I noticed, I don't know if this is intentional by GW, but I want to take a moment and show you guys this. This is on the back of the Triumvirate of the Imperium box. So the front is, of course, that baller St. Celestine art that I was showing you guys earlier. But the back shows this very ornate thing, and I'm sorry it's flipped around, guys, because it won't make much sense on the camera. It looks like it's wrong, but anyway, this looks like a clock hand, doesn't it? It looks very much like a clock hand to me. It even comes to a point here. On the camera right now on the stream, it looks like it's saying it is about 10 minutes, past the hour. But on the actual box, it's 10 minutes to midnight. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't think that's there by accident. I think midnight being the end of the Imperium, kind of the 40k end times. So I don't know if G-Dub is sending us a secret message in that or not. Oh no, you didn't derail me. Trust me, man. It's like... I'm going to change subjects like a mile a minute. It doesn't even matter. That's just the way I am. All right. Another Marco Rubio moment because I'm getting parched here. All right. So we're gonna have our own lighting. This is stuff that I'm probably gonna buy COTS. That is, for those of you who don't know that term, that is commercial off the shelf. That's what that means. It's like a defense contractor term. It means you don't have to build it yourself. That is going to be another goal for this entire project, is we're going to try to buy as much stuff as we can and repurpose it rather than try to make it ourselves, because we just don't have time. So what I want to do is have lights. If I have to get individual lights or whatever, then that's fine. But they will come up from behind, if you can imagine. That this is behind this wall. And this light here, we'll just do a little light source. Shiny rays. Rays. And they would be shining through the stained glass window. And we'll have another one here. Same thing. You know, and so on. So we're just doing that. And these, ideally, the ray of light would fall right on this statue in a very, you know, Indiana Jones kind of headpiece to the staff of Ra map room kind of way. It is exactly like the Doomsday Clock.
Leopardon, spider battle mode now!
Oh, another Leopardon. Man. That's awesome. That is... Oh, Jammin', thank you very much. That spider Leopardon thing, that is from a Japanese movie. Let's see who got... Dragon, I kind of missed your name there. I'm gonna go peep it so I can give you proper witnessing. Drago Meyermill. I called him Dragon. But Drago Meyermill, thank you for the follow. We're one more step closer with Warboys. How many pants points are we rocking today? I don't remember Robbie B's scale entirely, but I think I'm rocking probably a 2. So yeah, so Kenny calls Drago Dragon all the time. It's like, okay, well. And Quaza9875, thank you for the follow. We're almost a quarter of the way there to our giveaway for some unnamed thing. If we reach 100 follows during the stream, so it is a game. It has to do with Warhammer 40k. It is small, so it is very, very portable, and I think up to 4 people can play it, but you can also play it by yourself. It's very cool. Oh, okay. Oh, the witness guy scares you? Well, here's a couple of Vasquez. They probably don't count if they're around your ankles, I feel. That's probably... BBN Flow, thank you for the follow. Let's see here. Alright, so we'll have lights here. I don't know if we're going to use track lighting. Track lighting is normally mounted to something. And again, everything that we use has to be battery powered. Now, there are some desktop USB lights that I've been looking at that you can use one of those little portable USB chargers that people have to like charge the camera or charge their phone. If we rock 2 of those behind this, that would give us power. We also need one that's up here overall to shine through the Aquila. So we'll see if we can do that. And then comes that's all a really cool display board, but it's going to get hard. St. Julian, thank you for the follow. It's going to get rough because if you remember, I said when we started this whole thing that after Adepticon, we want to move this thing so it behaves like terrain. So that's going to be a challenge. And we're going to have sidewalls here that I didn't really depict. I'll do it over here. There'll be a side wall, you know, ruined side wall like that. So there'll be one over here as well. That'll be a ruined side wall that comes down like that. And the entire thing will be Drago Marmo, you have a cross stitch that looks almost exactly like this shirt. I'm telling you, this shirt, it is the ultimate of shirts. It is incredible. I like to say, you know, for those of you guys who used to watch C-Lab, this shirt gives me the strength of 2 bears that have the strength of 10 bears. It is amazing. One of my favorite shirts, honestly. I bought it ironically to wear last year at Adepticon playing my Space Wolves, and it is a really comfortable shirt. I really like it. It's really dope. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't beat. Rob has a shirt that has like has a cat on it that's like puking up a rainbow, and this shirt doesn't even come close to it. Doesn't top that shirt. Oh, that's the stitching on there. I will have to go check that out. Oh, it's on DeviantArt. Okay, cool. And that's kind of the concept for where we're at. That's going to be the display. So it's going to have side walls that kind of bracket the thing, lights, electronics for here. Don't know what we're going to do with Celestine with the sisters. Honestly, what I wanted to do with the sisters is kind of have it here, have like a little pulpit, for lack of a better word, with like a little spiral staircase, and I can't draw that. With like a spiral staircase and a pulpit up here. These will be stairs, whatever. You get the idea. These are stairs. So we have a pulpit here, and we have a priest, Ministorum priest, up here with, you know, sword or something, getting all the sisters and the Inquisition riled up. So that could be pretty cool. You know, the old Minnie holding a book in one hand and just being like, you know, we want to have that. I was actually thinking of cannibalizing the organ from one of the exorcists and putting it back here on some kind of plinth, and having one of the sisters playing the pipe organ. So that's the sisters thing. Inquisition, have to think about it. Don't know what we're really going to do. Try the bits from the Dark Elf Throne of Blood. I will definitely, in fact, let me go over here and make a note of that. Otherwise, I'll forget. I'm starting to have senior moments now. So, if I don't write things down, they're gone. From Dark Elf Throne of Blood. Alright, so we got that. That's dope. It does not protect you from having a soda machine fall on you, but what it does do is allow the scorpion stings it allows you to get high off the scorpion stings. Eventually you become addicted to the scorpion stings, but it's all good. There's lots of scorpions. So it works out. Not a controlled commodity. I knew what you meant when Murphy gets stuck under the soda machine and it's like kicking out all the soda cans and knocking out his teeth. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna look like. But anyway, for the what I was thinking of doing for these guys is again, we can use the Herstart's Castle molds and have over here kind of taking inspiration from our huggy friend over here in the stasis tube. I would like to have stasis tubes and because, I hate them so much, we're going to have some Tau and Eldar in the stasis tubes. And what we'll do is we'll get some minis, position them correctly and everything, and then use some clear resin with some bubbles in it and everything to make it look like it's liquid filled. Maybe throw a little bit of amber coloring in there to make it look like so that these guys are analyzing or doing some kind of unspeakable tests on the Xenos, which they no doubt deserve, so I don't feel sorry for them. But I still don't know what we're going to do for the Inquisition. I thought maybe have a demon host back here or somebody being put to the question, not being tortured. They're just being asked rather forcefully some things, but that would fit in with the Inquisition. And that's pretty much what the display I have in mind is going to be. But, like I mentioned before, we want to have it be terrain. So what we want to do is each one of these things is going to separate. It's going to come apart from one another. And then each one will have a slot here, kind of in the floor. I'm back to using my thin Sharpie instead of the thick one. It'll have a slot in the floor on both sides here. And we are going to make our own floor, by the way. I know that'll be a future stream where we're going to show you, we're going to take the floor, we're going to roll out some green stuff so that it has a kind of texture and everything to it. And then we're going to make molds of all this stuff. And I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. But we'll be talking about that in a moment. So the idea is then in these slots, you will have another ruined wall that can go in every single one of these. There'll be another ruined wall that can come down like that. So as you pull these things apart, they will actually be a 3-walled ruin, each one. And the kind of idea that well, hold on. Let me try that again. Take 2. The piece of terrain that gave me this idea is an old piece of terrain from about 4th edition that Games Workshop put out. I'm going to go grab it. Oh, it's actually back here. All right. So I'm back. You can see this is a pretty neat piece of terrain. It's got an Aquila, obviously ruined. And then you've got a removable wall with kind of a stained glass kind of feel to it there. The whole thing's painted up and it snaps in just like that. And this was something that GW made. It was a limited piece. I don't know exactly what year it was, but I want to say it was still 4th edition. Yeah, iron-headed. Yeah, so that's what gave me the idea. That's kind of the texture that we're going to be going for, that whole ruined look, falling down bricks and stuff. And we've approached kind of the 1 hour mark. We've laid this out and everything. I want to just take a quick sidestep. We're going to go back here before we start cutting foam. All right. And just give me a second here. All right, so we've covered the road ahead. We've talked about Adepticon. We have gone over my crude drawing of the display concept and what we're going to do there. So it is time for the replica prop of the week. And you might think with the whole sub-level 3 and the face huggers and everything like that, that I was going to do something from Aliens. And that will be coming. I promise you we'll talk about the M41A pulse rifle. We'll talk about the motion trackers, the grenades, all kinds of stuff. But today we're going to talk about, it's actually not the first prop that I ever bought. That was actually a Star Trek phaser. But this is it's a prop. Oh, hold on a second. I realized I left the chat over here, so I can't really talk about it. So that's oh, Iron-Headed. Feel free to use theater and stage terms. Okay. And all right. So the this prop is possibly, it's not the first one that I ever bought, but it is one that I made, and it is one that is very near and dear to, I'm pretty sure, all of us. And it is a civilized weapon. You know, it is not as clumsy and random as a blaster. So what we have is your father's lightsaber. Right here, this is Luke's A New Hope lightsaber from Star Wars A New Hope, which the title makes more sense after you've seen Rogue One, because that movie, I would like to see it again and just count how many times they said the word hope in it, because that stood out to me on first viewing, and I kind of feel like they said that a lot. So what this is just really incredible. Of course, there's the meme going around where when Obi-Wan, gives it to Luke, he didn't exactly tell him the truth. You know, he should have said, well, this is your dad's, and he used it to kill about 30 kids and murder a bunch of people on Mustafar, and I basically, cut him down and left him for dead, and I took this as a souvenir, and now I'll let you have it. Somehow, I think that would have been a lot darker. So we're just going to go over the origins of this really quickly. When Lucas was making A New Hope, obviously he was strapped for money, strapped for budget, all kinds of stuff. They wound up reusing as many props as they could from other stuff. So like the Stormtrooper guns are actually some World War II machine guns that they glued some bits onto and everything like that. So what this is, and you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit and pretend that a bunch of the greeblies that are on here are not on here. But if you remember, some old time cameras, they'd have a big camera. It'd be like a big box that you'd hold in front of your face. And then off on the side here, this piece here would slide into the side of the camera. And the handle would hold the batteries. And this would be the light meter. And there'd be a big round kind of dome here. Thank you for the follow, Dathar77. There'd be kind of a big dome or, round thing like that back here, and an actual bulb would stick right in here. And you would press this button, and that would make the flash go off as you took the picture. So this is called a flash gun. And that's what it is. And they had some sitting around at Elstree Studios where they were filming. So they took it, and this is really unsophisticated prop making, but that's some of the best, most iconic props are stuff that would almost be junk or very common everyday items. So they attached a D-ring to it so it could hang from somebody's belt. Super easy. They put a piece of shiny reflective tape right here so that it would hide the name of the company, and it says Graflex on it because this is a Graflex 3-cell, meaning it takes 3 batteries, flash gun. And then they added, these are some bubbles that amplify the numbers for an old Texas Instruments calculator that they slid right in here. Now in Empire Strikes Back, I believe this had a circuit board, but this is A New Hope version, so that's why it has the calculators. And that's pretty much it. They took off the top. There's no light bulb in there. It can still make a connection. And then these for the grip, super easy. They are windshield wipers, cut down and glued to make the grip of the lightsaber. So all in all, a really iconic prop. One of my absolute favorites. It caused a lot of consternation, not among the replica prop collecting community, but among the antique camera community. And thank you for the follow, Proficla, I hope, or Proficle. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Yeah, Mad Ivan. Now, what you want to do is grab some glue some stuff to it, and yell its name really loud so people know what it is. That's pretty much it, you know. And it's what wound up happening is a lot of replica prop people were buying up antique camera parts and cannibalizing the flash guns to make lightsabers, because Vader's is a Highland flash gun, which was a different company, and it has like a kind of shroud over it and everything like that. So a lot of those kind of went to people making replica props. Incidentally, this is kind of a coming full circle kind of thing. Sailor Jeff, 1993, thank you for the follow. What wound up happening was the replica prop forum started getting more and more into these and trying to get more accurate and, you know, less damaged, pristine Graflexes, because obviously they were old. Some of them had rust on them. A lot of them were dented. They hadn't really been taken care of because nobody thought they'd be worth anything. The replica prop community wound up creating Graflex 3 cell flash guns, wound up machining them so that people who were looking to make lightsabers didn't need to buy the antique camera parts anymore, so they could just get the actual replica Graflex flash gun. And these are so accurate that they will actually work as a real flash gun. So now the antique camera people, if they can't get a hold of a flash gun, they can actually buy one of these replica Graflex, and they actually do work if you put batteries in them and everything. So it's just kind of a happy story. It all came around. All right, so now we're going to get to making our foam core model of this. And it's going to be rough, but and this one we're going to be a little bit more accurate with, because we want it to be 1-to-1 scale. And what the point of this is to let us see how everything works. Let us see if our concept is going to bear out. We'll learn very quickly if things don't work the way they're supposed to work, if where we're going to get hung up before we have to start carving up some foam. Rock Drummer 1226, thank you for the follow. And I'm sorry guys, but this is the first time I'm doing this, and I'm surprised by how parched I'm getting. Of course, we are in Colorado, and it is an alpine desert, so there's no moisture here. All right, so let's transition again, and we'll go back here. Okay. So let's move this out of the thing here, and we've got, oh, it looks like I had bunches of sheets of paper here. I only needed one. And hopefully the camera will adjust well for this. We're going to pull this off to the side here so it's not using. We're going to cut black foam core so that it looks a little bit, so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see without the camera blowing it out constantly. And nope. All right. So we got a couple sheets of this, and of course, oh, looks like I'm cutting my own head off. Let's adjust this a bit. All right. Okay, that's better. And what we're just going to do now is just start measuring out stuff. To cut foam core, thing I use is just a box cutter. One of the things you need to be aware of is that cutting foam will dull even a box cutter rapidly. Cutting any kind of foam will do that. So we're just going to start measuring, and at first I'm going to measure basically the floor. It's just going to be 12 by 12. Super easy. We can go this way. And it looks like my silver Sharpie has wandered away. We'll just have to make do. I know I bought a couple today, but it just seems like that decided not to play. So here's 1 12-inch mark. And it looks like we're only gonna get 3 pieces of floor out of one side. Yeah, I don't doubt that he did. It's a sneaky guy. Alright, so go here. And while I'm measuring all this stuff out, I can talk about how what we're going to wind up having to do is, yeah, you guys unfortunately can't see the black lines at all. I don't know what happened. Is it over here? That Sharpie. Come here. SPS 62487, thank you for the follow. And I don't know where I put it, so that's another technical difficulty. So if you're watching, take a shot. That's oh, what did you miss? Not a whole lot. I mean, I talked about props. I talked about the Graflex 3-cell flash gun, the lightsaber stuff. So I don't know if you saw that part or not. If you didn't, you can go back after this. It'll be archived, and you can watch it, of course. What the other thing I'm going to talk about while we're doing this is you may have heard me mention at the beginning that I was going to my buddy Dave's house in Chicago prior to Adepticon, like just prior to. So there is a problem with even Southwest that doesn't charge you for baggage would probably have issue with me showing up with a 4-foot display board, you know, that's that's got electronics and all kinds of glue and etc., etc. So I'm gonna have to ship it out there. And although the balsa foam is somewhat rigid enough to to take some stress and stuff. And if I was driving out there, I might consider doing the balsa foam thing. But what we're going to try to do is cut a piece of balsa foam and sculpt it to exactly the way we want that wall, all the walls, the floors and everything to look. And then we're going to make molds of those pieces and cast them. So we're going to be working with about 1/2 inch thick resin pieces, those things are not going to break. They'll be lightweight enough that we can ship them without things going crazy, but they will be very, very solid. And the cool thing is that when we're done, we can use them as terrain that's just about indestructible. Those will probably wind up at my local game store. They need some extra terrain for sure, and I don't need any more. My basement is cluttered enough already. Alright, so I'm going to just start cutting this, and then we can just start assembling stuff. And the beauty of this is that everything's just based off of 1 square foot. So the middle spire that we showed before, the part that's going to have the Aquila on it, that is going to be, oh dear. Yeah, my square slipped. And all I've got underneath here is I've got a piece of MDF just to keep me from cutting up the surface of my battle table too badly. But I really don't care about the surface of this because, you know, since battle mats have come out, we just do, you know, we throw a battle mat over the top of this. As long as it's a solid surface, it's all good. Still doesn't work. Okay. The other thing that occurred to me is I could use a material called Sintra, which is, imagine foam core, but instead of foam core being kind of, you know, made out of cardboard and paper on either side, Sintra is the same thing, but it's ABS plastic. It's extruded plastic, so it is a lot harder. Obviously, I might have a piece of Sintra floating around here, so I can show you guys. Apparently not. Apparently, I actually put it away for a change. I actually cleaned up and put it away. But a lot of cosplayers use Sintra because you can shape it with a heat gun. And it's very moldable, and it's very tough for what it is. So that is an alternative. If our molding technique does not work, we will make it out of Sintra, but that is obviously a much more intensive procedure, much more intensive process. And I would rather not do that, but that's, always have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. So we're just going to do that. And I know this doesn't quite seem as exciting right now, but trust me, this is going to be super cool. So that's 3 floor sections that we've got right now. We need 1 more. I don't know if I can... Let's see. If I cut... No, that's probably going to eat into... Yeah, that looks like that's only 18 inches. So we're just going to have to go this way. And I can't salvage much more. And that's kind of too bad, but... Why am I doing 12-inch sections? Because it's going to be kind of... It's about 4.5 feet. We're going to have 1 square foot section for each army, each 1,000-point army that we're putting on there. And then The middle part, the part with the Aquila, is only going to be 6 inches across. So we're really talking about 4.5 feet display. So it'll be a little bit bigger than this, like that. And that's why we're doing everything to 12 feet. So granted, when this thing's done and we're dealing with a piece of terrain, you know, that can be used after the display board, that's a pretty honking big piece of terrain. It'll probably block line of sight. So you know how the tables, usually at LVO or whatever, they got 2 big blocking line of sight pieces of terrain. You could just drop one there, and then boom, you've got, you know, 2 big line of sight blocking pieces of terrain, 3 walled ruins with some, you know, a little fountain inside or whatever. It could work very well. And what we'll probably have to do, it's not going to be a 4x6 table. We're not doing the whole table. I thought about doing that, but it would be kind of unwieldy at that point. And M Morris 097, thank you for the follow. We're creeping up there. We are a third of the way there almost. Like one more follow and we'll be there. The reason I didn't feel like doing an entire 4x6 table is, of course, now you're dealing with, we're only using 4,000 points of stuff. Now that sounds like a lot, but we are also talking about Sisters, Inquisition, Grey Knights, Deathwatch. These are armies that are small and elite. I mean, you can build a 1,000-point force with Grey Knights and have, I mean, I could probably build an 8 model list that was 1,000 points. And the same with Deathwatch, if we wanted to. And Sisters now, I mean, Celestine is mandatory, you know, but that's 200 points gone for her and her 2 Gemini. And then we're going to have 6 penitent engines. So there's not going to be a whole lot of models on this table. So a 4x6 table, it would be a lot of empty space to fill with terrain. That's why we're leaning towards just 4 foot long and maybe 1.5 foot deep, not much deeper than that. And honestly, you'll only really see 1 foot deep of it. The other half would be to hold all those lights that we were talking about, all the stuff that would go behind the walls to illuminate the stained glass, electronics, battery, stuff like that. We'll probably mount it on a big piece of MDF so that we can actually carry it around and give it some stability. Yeah, you know, Warboy 87, I have not gotten my White Dwarf yet. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Hoping to talk to the GW media team at Vegas about that. I think they're doing an outstanding job, but the White Dwarf thing, that's kind of unacceptable. It's next time I won't subscribe to it. I'll just keep buying it from the FLGS. Oh, they ship out of Long Island. I didn't know that. That's still, though, it's, what are we at here? The 15th? It's like 2 weeks into January? I mean, the Haven has had it since we got back from New Year's. I'm like, this, not an excuse. Innocence proves nothing. Sorry. Not an excuse. All right. Found a working silver Sharpie. So. Oh, I was way off on my 12 inches. My 12-inch measurement there. Now you can hopefully see the lines a little bit. Oh yeah, tomorrow is a holiday, Martin Luther King. So much street cred, they write his name on the signs. Well, guys, I'm kind of hoping we get a snow day, honestly, because I got to work tomorrow. But it's supposed to have a minor snowpocalypse in Colorado. Of course, in Colorado, that doesn't mean anything. Everyone's just like, whatever. Business as usual. What I should have done is enlisted my friend Liz to make this for me. And then I would save myself a lot of trouble. What is the name of that stained glass discontinued piece? I don't know. Let me see if it's got... let's see. It just says Games Workshop, Warhammer 40K on here. Oh, well, people who were debating that it was early 4th edition, that's actually not too far off. This is copyright 2002. You can't really see it. Try to get that on there. Yeah, but copyright 2002. That's a while back. That is a ways back. Uh-oh. And it's getting jammed in there. But I love the way they had this slot. I love the way they did that. You can't, I'm too close to the camera so you can't see it. But there is a slot in here, right along here, that this just kind of plugs into. And it's stable enough. It doesn't need to be glued. I mean, granted, if I turn it upside down without my finger there, it'll probably fall out. But the detail of this is great. It has little pieces of rebar coming out and everything like that. Looks really, really solid. And I'll move it closer so you guys can... it's out of focus there, but... Yeah, 2002, yeah. Oh, okay, well, jamming with some information on what the dealie is with White Dwarf, so that's pretty cool. Thank you for that info. That at least squares up some stuff. Alright, let's see here. No, I almost messed up. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see. I'm getting some messages from some other folks. Let me just see what's going on. Some other members of the Long War. And M Morris 0987, thank you for the follow, and Moose 40K, thank you for the follow. But yeah, could be interesting. Might see what's going on here. Okay. Yeah, next level painting Kenny. Did he just join the chat? Yeah, he did. I went on at 5 Mountain Time, which you don't believe in, which is why you didn't see me. But yeah, it's probably because I can't do maths. So we got our wires crossed a little bit, and it's bound to happen. I feel like if you're playing the Long War drinking game, I feel like that's a shot, actually. Yeah, it is 4 p.m. Pacific, now that I think about it. Not 6 Pacific, so that was kind of a screw up. Oh boy, this is not wanting to play nice. Yeah, we can change it later, I guess. I had always intended to be 5 to 8. This stream might be a little bit shorter, just because it is my debut stream, and I'm just trying to cover what I said I would cover. But seems like we got our wires crossed with with the times, which honestly, if that's the biggest thing to go wrong right now, I'll take it, because there's quite a bit involved in doing this stuff, and with this computer just deciding to like turn off randomly, I'll take just us being off by some hours. All right. Okay. And I think what we're going to need to do now is just build one of the outer sections. I'll cut some more pieces off later. I feel like we have enough right now to build a couple parts. Throw that over here. Oh no. Thank you, Dark Comedy, for the good luck. And all right, so this is the back wall over here. Let's see, how's this going? If you guys can see. And then we'll have a side wall over yonder, like that. All right, that seems like it works. You guys can see that. So the floor, pretty much done. All we're gonna do with the floor later is we'll texture it. But for our concept model, we don't need to do anything to it. It just occurred to me that this concept model could be used later as a proper display board for like a local tournament or something like that. So I may not want to just trash it outright. So now we're going to do the back wall. And if you look at our diagram that we've got here, and that's probably going to blow out the camera, so early apologies for that right away. Somebody is multi-streaming from one page. That's pretty awesome. All right, so we're going to just do one of these things. That's what we're working on now, one of these sections. So I'm just going to do essentially this part. Doesn't need to be the granites part and everything. They're all going to be kind of the same. That's the whole idea. So we will just do the granite part. So we're looking here, and we're just going to measure 6 inches in and just bisect it down. And a lot of this is going to be very rough, but the beauty of this is that it's going to be a ruin, so it doesn't need to be pristine. That allows us a lot of leeway. So we've got 12 inches. We want the window to kind of start a third of the way down. That might be too low. So let's go with 3 inches down for the window. And then just gonna eyeball it. We need the window to be big enough so that the artwork comes through. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, Jason's gonna be doing a little bit more, and then come over here. So that's gonna be neat. All right. So what we're gonna need to do is we won't have the fidelity to do a stained glass window this small. That would be really neat. We might do some peripheral stained glass windows on the side. Don't know how hard that would be, how easy that would be. That's a good idea, actually, and it would add a lot more, and it would let us do multiple pieces of artwork. So that would be really cool. So let's see. I'm just eyeballing this just to give us a big. So this is going to be. This would be 9 inches here. 6 inches there. I feel like that window is a little bit too small if we go to 6 inches. So we might actually want to go to 2 inches down. And this is why we're doing a foam core model of this, because you don't want to be doing this on the piece that you're going to be casting, obviously. This lets us play around and just mess around with what we want to do and just kind of eyeball things. So if we go to 7 inches, 8 inches seems a little too low. Seems too big. I don't know. Let's see how big this thing is. That is 4 inches tall. So if we start here and go 2 inches, that would put it there. I want our window to be bigger than that. So I'm going to go down. Let's make it 6 inches tall. And that's going to be big, but. And then we'll just go like 2 inches on either side.
Alright, Leopardon, Spider Battle
Oh,
Mode
Spider
now!
Battle Mode unlocked again. Let's see. Who was Rubber Ducky? Oh, Rubber Ducky, nice. Thank you for the donate there. It's not going to just focus on terrain. It's going to cover just basically everything right now. From here until March, my channel is going to cover everything I need to do to go to Adepticon. Aside from like packing clothes and stuff like that. So right now what we're doing, just to kind of recap real quick, is we are deciding to play an Inquisition-based force. So we're talking Ordo Hereticus, Ordo Malleus, Ordo Xenos, and of course the Inquisition. So that's our 4 armies. The team tournament only allows basically 1,000 points per army, and it has different. We haven't made up lists yet. It has different force org requirements for each army. We really kind of don't know what we're going to play, but I do know what models I have. And so I've got about 3,000 points of Grey Knights, about 2,500 points of Sisters, which until recently were painted, but now are not painted. I went ahead and reprimed them all so that we could kick it up a notch with the painting, because when I painted them back in 4th edition, I wasn't as good a painter, frankly. And then I got a bunch of them used. So we had to make it common. And what we're going to try to do is make this display board and try to win the best display competition. So that's a tall order, needless to say. We've got people that have been working on the displays for an entire year. And we're going to try to do it in however many Sundays there are left between now and Adepticon. So it is going to be a road to perdition. And it's just going to be a challenge, absolutely, but I think we can do it. Whether or not we'll win, that's up to the judges. But I think we can come up with something that's incredible and teach you guys some kung fu along the way. about a bunch of different things you can use to make your own display boards, all that stuff. We will be doing some painting, but my painting technique is going to be a lot faster than a lot of the other people that you see, because we're only going for a tabletop kind of 80% solution, where and I'll be frankly honest, my technique is I take the painting rubric of whatever tournament I'm going to attend and I use it like a checklist. And surprisingly enough, if you do that, your models are going to come out looking fantastic. But they're not. I'm not making my models look fantastic for being fantastic sake, for art's sake. I'm literally going, hey, it requires me to have 3 pieces of different flock on the base, so it's going to have 3 different pieces of flock. I use it like a checklist, and that's how we're going to do these models. Oh, okay. That's all right. Let me see. Is that shirt ironic? It is not ironic. Ironic is a song by Alanis Morissette, and that was a horrible joke, but whatever. I actually love this shirt, so. And because you missed it before, this shirt gives me the strength of 2 bears that has the strength of 10 bears. Because I love that episode. Ride the Stimmy Tax. All right. So back to this. We'll see how this window is going to work out. Gonna go like this. I feel like Liz, if I had let her do this, I feel like we'd be done already. Liz is an architect friend of mine, phenomenal 40K painter, really all around great player, really good person. But she happens to be, in her day job, her non-hobby time, happens to be an architect, so she knows all the secret tech. 2 bears, 1 shirt. Nice. There will be no cat gods here. All right. And all I'm doing here is just progressively growing out. I'm going to try to make a crude arch, not rude. Just kind of freehand it. That was pretty pathetic, actually. And now that I see how much room there is on this wall, I feel like I'm going to go back on what I said earlier, and I kind of want some peripheral windows here. So let's cut this joker out, though. You gotta kind of watch it, because it's, you guys can kind of tell that cutting through the foam core, the razor's wanting to slip, the box cutter. So watch yourself and let the tool do the cutting. Don't try to force it. When you try to force it, that's when the blade's invariably going to jump, and like right there, and then you're off to the emergency room. So. And I have experienced that on a number of levels. So many times, in fact, that I have a running joke that unless there's a sacrifice to the blood god, a project's not going to turn out. Well, that's kind of pathetic looking. So when we cut the balsa foam,
Marine squad
we're going to have to make it a lot better than that. We'll just have to work. Oh no. What's going on there? A lot of cat emojis in there. Dark Comedy, thank you for the follow. We are now about a third of the way towards our 100 follower goal. To recap, anybody who's just joining, when I reach 100 followers, we're going to do a giveaway of a really cool game that has to do with Warhammer 40K. It is multiplayer, but it can be played single player. And it is a tabletop game. It is not a computer game. But it is not something crazy expensive. But, however, in possibly less than a year, it might be something that's very hard to get. So, I am being vague, trying to milk out some information for you guys. And I'll reveal stuff. It is, I will say, based on one of the oldest GW properties around. So, there's that. Oh, somebody was messaging me. All right. So, oh, you think you know what it is? What do you think it is? That's Mathis 101. Laser wolves. Could be tight. Could be tight. All right. So, we're going to be going in 2 inches for these kind of peripheral windows that are going in. So 2 and 10 o'clock mark, or 10 inch mark, not 10 o'clock. And these are going to be smaller windows because I didn't even think we wanted them. Oh, Vasquez coming in the house, hot.
Marine squad deployed.
I'm not going to ruin it. VMP Ray, thank you for the follow. It seems like I heard a drop pod coming in. And Absence 624, thank you for the follow. Coming in hot on the drop pod. So we're at 2 inches and then 2 inches down. So we're going to be right there and right here. All right. And then how far down do we want these windows? They're going to be small. So just another 2 inches. Just another 2 inches down. And we'll make them, an inch across, maybe? 2 inches across. An inch across, they'd be kind of narrow. So let's go 2 inches across. That'll give us like a good Trinity effect. I don't remember which mark was which here. It's this one. That's the good mark. Okay. And then we'll just do freehand on this one. Freehand on that one. Yeah. And I saw some conversation earlier about using clear transparencies to do stained glass, and that is probably the way we're going to do this, but we're going to go one step further. I looked into doing stained glass using the little crystals and stuff. They actually sell these little kits that you take the crystals, you put it in a stained glass framework, and you bake it in your oven for you don't need a kiln, you don't need any special things. It has a really low melting point, and it melts this. It's not glass, obviously. It's probably some form of plastic. It melts that in there, and it gives you a stained glass effect. If we had a year to do it, that might be the way I would do it, because it would definitely look really good. I'm going to have to... Remember what I said about how cutting foam would invariably dull your thing. Dull your knife. That's what's going on here. So I'm gonna need to break off one of the razor pieces here, so that we are at a sharper edge. All right, we're back. Let's see how that's working. Much nicer. Yeah, because you don't want to be forcing the blade at all. You want it to do its own cutting, otherwise you're going to hurt yourself. So well, I certainly hope so. I want to give away this thing. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite games. I actually play it alone all the time. It is very So I would like somebody to get it and to do a giveaway on this debut stream. I feel we're about right on schedule. We're running a little bit early, a little bit fast too, so I may actually run out of material that I had planned to do this stream.
Marine squad deployed.
And have to end it a little bit early, but do I have a piece of glass that I want to make into, or a piece of art? Jeez. Take two. Let me try that again. Do I have a piece of art that I want to make into stained glass? Yes and no. I have in my head a concept, and what we're probably going to do is just grab some kind of artwork, either out of the codices or something that that we can use. That, you know, and then what we're going to do, this is the idea that I have for it, is we'll go ahead, let's take this for instance. This is that really, really cool piece of art that that's on the Imperial Triumvirate box. So let's say we wanted to take this piece of Celestine. You know, we would basically take this and get it. Thank you for the follow, Apophis UK. Apophis being like the, I want to say that's the Hellenized name of Apep, the serpent that fights Ra every night. So that's really cool. There's a lot of Egyptian stuff going on here too. You'll figure that out. But okay, so if we take this, and this is going to go kind of in here, you know, see how baller that already would look? Just, you're gonna have to project that this is like a kind of a ruined wall, and you've got this big stained glass kind of image of Celestine, and then in here some like lesser sisters or maybe some fleur-de-lis. We'll have a fleur-de-lis symbol up here and some sconces and all kinds of stuff. And of course the sconces, they got to have, you know, electronic candles and light and stuff like that pumping it out. So what we're going to do is essentially put a piece of plastic in here on the backside, so you won't see where it's attached. And then there is some stuff that you can get called liquid lead. I don't know if I have any handy, but it comes in a squeeze bottle, and this stuff looks like glue. It looks like black glue. And you take it and you would go around the major lines of that artwork, just like a stained glass window. And that will put in those lead lines that you can see kind of on this. If you imagine all these black lines that you see on here, let me see here. These black lines that you see on here would be made with that liquid lead. And then you can actually paint. They sell like a faux stained glass paint at places like Michael's and Hobby Lobby. And that's what we're going to use. And we'll paint that stuff, and it affects light. When light comes through it, it looks just like stained glass. Looks phenomenal. And liquid handies. I did not say liquid handies. Oh yeah, you could do all the Photoshop work and everything with that. Yeah, and then just print it out. That's a really good idea, because now we might not be able to do it with an inkjet, but I wonder if you like went to, you know, Kinko's or Office Max or something, if they could do a color transparency. That could be an idea. That's a good backup plan. That's an excellent backup plan. So anyway, we have our crude stained glass picture here. We would put whatever symbol we have here. I'm going to use granites because they're near and dear to my heart. So we'll just do like a book, you know, right there with the sword. Reappropriate that. Boom. Sword hilt. There's the granite emblem, and then we'll have like the gantry we were talking about, you know, in here somewhere. And we're not going to build all that out because there's no point in doing that twice. Oh, folks are multi-streaming. Okay, I see. All right. Check out the Dark Heresy RPG books. There's a lot of good artwork. Okay, that makes the writing down thing. Got to check that out. So check out Dark Heresy. All right. So we're racking up some ideas here. All right. So yeah, we're not going to bother building out the gantry that we talked about. If you remember, I'll pull this back out here. We're talking about there's going to be a fountain, some kind of plinth that we're going to put an old model on, and that'll be in the middle of the floor. We were going to have a gantry with LEDs and everything for the Grey Knights. For Celestine, we were going to have like a pipe organ, and we were going to have a pulpit in between the sisters and the Inquisition, where some Ministorum priest is getting everybody riled up and ready to go. And then we've got, some people getting put to the question, maybe in an Iron Maiden or something like that. Maiden, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm weird. I just do that. And so we will have people put to the question over here, and then for the Death Watch Order Xenos, we'll have some underlit or backlit kind of. I want Eldar and Tau in some specimen jars, being kind of experimented on. Those vile grays. Yeah, that's right. Still one more name, Maiden, all the way. Hallowed be thy name. It's awesome. All right. Let's see. So that's the floor. That's the rear wall. We're going to make a side wall now, which will be, because I think we had Grey Knights on the end here. Yeah, we did. We had Grey Knights on the end. Okay. And roger that. Saw your message. Gonna do another kind of Marco Rubio. Only he was like over here, and then he was like, I'm not getting the bottle. I'm just gonna. Poor guy. He had it coming. All right. Yeah, they're still going strong. Still going strong. It's kind of ridiculous. Funny thing is about Maiden for me is I came to them kind of backwards because I was like really into Spinal Tap, and I didn't realize at the time that Spinal Tap was making fun of Iron Maiden. Squad deployed. So it's just kind of a direct parody of Iron Maiden. So I heard a drop pod come in. Mystic Scorpion, awesome. Thank you for the follow. All right. Watch out for the slow fuse deluge. Oh, are we gonna get raided? Is that what's going on? All right. So we're gonna build this side wall here, and keep in mind that we want to have 2 of these side walls. Ultimately. On the display board, there's going to be 2 sidewalls, but they're going to be, 4 feet apart. But ultimately, we want to be able to slot these walls in to use this piece as a piece of terrain. Oh, some witnessing going on. Some folks coming in. Uh-oh. Looks like there's a lot of emoticons coming out here. Deployed. So, Slow Fuse. All right. Thank you for the follow. That's awesome. He's coming in. Yeah, we're being raided. Here they come. Oh, who has that? It looks almost like the Ministorum Inquisition symbol. I need to get that emote. Oh, this is so dope. Very, very cool, guys. Thank you very much. Wow. Slow Fuse Gaming is in the house. He, as you know, is another member of the Long War Network, running some outstanding streams. Got all kinds of stuff going on. This is amazing. This is really, really cool. That's awesome. Oh, I love the snail. That is so dope.
Marine squad deployed.
And we've got another drop pod coming in. I heard that, so that's really cool. Gonna move this over here. Vasquez coming in the house. Max27, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of follows here, so I'm not even gonna try to. Let's see, Mastermind2563, thank you for the follow. We're creeping up on the War Boys here. JDA59, thank you for the follow. Some folks getting witnessed. Calix01, thank you for the follow. Slowfuse Gaming again. It's like looping, I guess. Volkson, thank you for the follow. Here a drop pod coming in, of course. We're racking it up. Rail21, thank you for the follow. We're now almost halfway to the giveaway. It is a GW game. It is hard. It is small and portable. Refractal Studios, thank you for the follow. You can play it by yourself. You can play it with a couple people. Darkness, Nam, was that it? Thank you for the follow. Dr. Killinger. Oh, man, that's a good name. That is a good name. Wiki Wombat, thank you for the follow.
Marine squad deployed.
This is very, very cool. And Frack Panda, thank you for the follow. Joe238, Joe, thank you very much. Oh.
What is your profession?
And that is awesome. I'm getting a message from somebody here. Let me see here. Al Heron and Kev Rob, thank you for the follow. Yeah, thank you, Weekend Binge. Yeah, we've got
Marine squad deployed.
Flip You for Real. Thank you for the donate. That was awesome. And
Marine squad deployed.
we've got a bunch of Marines coming in. Drop pods just dropping in hot.
Marine
And
squad
I
deployed.
apologize if I miss you guys. Kev Rob, thank you for the follow. But yeah, it's Al Heron. Yeah, that dude, I remember that first time I saw the Vasquez thing. Whole theater just went insane. I was sitting so on the edge of my seat. I was like, man, all these characters we just met are about to buy it. And then she pulls that out, and it was just amazing. Mike 3 Fury, thank you for the follow.
Marine squad deployed.
The community distract. Yeah, it's derailed, but that's great. That's fantastic. It's really, really good. It's really fun and everything. We're at 61 right now. Just 40 more to go, and we'll be able to knock that out. I did miss a couple people. I want to give them a shout out here, so I'm just going over here to look. We've got Waffles has followed. Weekend Binge has followed. Genuine Vision has followed. M Moros 12 has followed. Snake Man 442. Gus Schultz. Studio 77 Painting, thank you for the follow. Battlestar Shogun, is that a real name? Seriously? Like, okay, I kind of need to see that movie now. Battlestar Shogun. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. That's amazing. Really want to see that. That is a great name. Yeah, That's crazy. Wasn't expecting that for sure. That is awesome. That is awesome. So we're gonna try to get back on track here real quick, and see what we can do. So to reiterate, and I'm gonna go over for the guys who just joined what we're trying to do here. This stream is about the road to Adepticon for right now. For the next 3 months, that's what you're gonna see is the road to Adepticon. So as you all know, we're gonna be going to Adepticon and playing in the team tournament. And Imperial Paradox, thank you for the follow. We're going to be running an Inquisition force, and that's because Kenny thought that I was, not just Kenny, Juice, and Rob thought I was too salty playing Chaos. I just got tired of playing Chaos every single time. I don't play Chaos on my own, so I'm definitely at a disadvantage. And they thought I was too salty, so they let me choose the army, and I chose Inquisition. It's my first love. So we're playing Inquisition, Sisters of Battle, Grey Knights, and Deathwatch. And we came to this decision before Deathwatch had a codex, which is actually really good. So bonus, we also have Celestine now, who is also really good. Bonus, my Grey Knights, they'll hold their own. They'll make do. And so what we're trying to do right now is I'm kind of in a fix because CVS 569, thank you for the follow. Kind of in a fix because I have bit off Gothmog, Lord of Balrogs, of course. Evan Valdyke, our good friend, really, really good dude. I've kind of bitten off a little bit more than I can chew. So we have to paint. I told everybody I would paint everyone's army because I already own all the models. So I reprimed my Sisters of Battle because I hadn't painted them since 4th edition. And I had bought a whole mess of models from a guy who was getting out of the hobby. So the paint schemes didn't match. So I went ahead and stripped them, repainted them. We're going to start from scratch for Sisters of Battle. So some of the time you're going to see me painting stuff. My Grey Knights are all painted. So that's one army down. We're good on that. Deathwatch, I haven't even assembled. So we're going to be assembling and painting the Deathwatch. Good thing for us, their base armor color is black. And then I've got a bunch of Inquisition here and there. Might have something like, 15 Jokero. So that might find their way into the list because we haven't made a list yet. So what we're contemplating right now is how to build our display board because we're going to win the best display competition at Adepticon. That is our goal. That is our whole thing. And in a moment, I'll pull out what we did in the first part of the stream. And we still have to wait for real Sisters to be released. But we're planning on just using the old codex. And honestly, with Celestine and all the buffs that you can give to all the different guys, to the different slots like the Elites, HQ, all that stuff, Sisters are kind of back in it. They were never really out. It's just so hard to get the models and everything. And then let's see what else is saying. Wiki Wombat says I have a big beat slab. I do. I do have a big beat slab. That's thanks to my wife who let me have the basement. So when we finish the basement is mine. I did all kinds of stupid stuff to it that I'll talk about later. I'll talk about it in a little while. Wiki Wombat, thank you very much for offering up a squad of Sisters I can borrow, but honestly, I have almost 3,000 points of Sisters. So we don't need anything, unless, of course, they come out with plastic Sisters that equal the models they came out with for the Triumvirate, which if anybody has already assembled it, the Sisters are dainty, to put it mildly. A lot of really, really small pieces that you drop and you hear them hit the floor and they bounce into parts unknown and you're scrambling because to replace it would be an $80 box. Casino Reads, thank you for the follow. Coming up on 2/3 of the way to our War Boys giveaway. If we reach 100 follows on this stream, I will give away a really cool game that is a GW property. It is small, portable, lots of fun, very hard. and supports 1 to 4 players. And I'll go into more detail every time I talk about it. Still one more name. There ain't going to be no Plastic Sisters. As much as I would like to disagree with you, I think you're dead on, man. I think you're right. I think the Plastic Sisters they were talking about were Celestine and the Wonder Twins. I think that's all we're going to get for the near future. I am not going to confirm or deny Warboy 87. I am not going to confirm or deny. So yeah, thanks for waiting for us. Let's see. Oh, I missed who that was. Just go over here, see what's up. Kirby Jerusalem, thank you for the follow. All right, so now we're gonna make the side walls. So how many squads of Sisters of Silence are we gonna be fielding? Honestly, I don't know. What's weird about the Adepticon team tournament format is that they only allow one of the armies to take like a non-faction formation or something, you know, like a different faction formation. So we don't know. We don't know. Having one squad of Sisters of Silence would be really useful. Obviously, because of all the psychic powers going to run around, you know you're going to run into somebody doing Magnus insanity. So, and this is Poet War. Thank you for the follow. And D-Day Gaming, thank you for the follow. Let's see, Son of Bjorn, now have Custodes squads. Would love to get a Sisters of Silence squad, but I cannot bring myself to buy the box set for a single unit. Okay, I gotta tell you this. If you do have the money, pick up that Burning of Prospero. That game by itself, like not using the models for 40k or anything, just the game by itself is an absolute blast. It is amazing, and it is probably a sneak peek into what 8th edition might resemble. And it is an amazing value. What Prospero? I think it's called the Burning of Prospero, right? I think that's what it's called. It's a 30k game, lots of fun, really, really good. Do I think it'll be the new detachment? Let's see. I don't know how they're going to treat the Inquisition in the wake of Agents of the Imperium, because Agents of the Imperium is just really it left me sad, because it's a bunch of little small things that don't work as a cohesive whole, and the way the team tourney is set up, you really can't do that. You know, you really can't. You might be able to take Castellans, you know, which is the new formation that's in the Acadia book, that Castellans thing. You might be able to take that, but I don't know. Oh, cut something. Yes, I'm getting there. Got distracted. All right, back on task from Flippy for Real. Thank you for reminding me. You can't tease me with hobby knife anger. All right, so we're gonna do wall here, but keep in mind that this is going to be a destroyed wall, so it's going to be full size up top here, probably about midway down here. And I'm just going to just very rough this out. Doesn't need to be great. Boom. Done. Oh, it didn't go all the way through. Well, even better, it'll look like a ruin. There we go. So we've got one here. Now, seeing this actually in 3D seems to indicate to me, and I'll turn it around here, there's a lot of space on that ruined wall that's not being used. And more importantly, when we're sitting like this in the Armies of Parade display, anything here, which is where we wanted our gantry with the with the AdMech guys working on the Dread Knight, that's kind of lost in darkness now because there's nothing. So it looks like we need to put a window here. It's not going to have the backlit awesomeness that's going to be coming down here, but we do need a window here. So I'm just going to measure that out as well. And it's going to be a smaller window because it's on the side. And we'll just go 2 inches in and about 2 inches down. Kind of like how we did the last ones. So this is their 2 inches in, 2 inch down, so it's like right here. And then we're gonna make it, this one we can afford to make a little bit bigger, or longer rather. So it'll be long and narrow. And let's go 4 inches with this one. Yeah, your architectural background is probably feeling abused at how I'm using the T-square. This material that I'm using right now, this is just black foam core, but that's not what we're going to be building the display out of. The display out of, what we're going to be doing is first we're going to be cutting, Maddie Havoc, thank you for the follow. First we're going to be cutting balsa foam. And Tap Banana, thank you. You are the Banana King. Thank you for the follow. So what we're going to be doing is sculpting. We're going to build a 3D display out of foam core, which is what we're doing tonight. And we should be complete with at least one section of it tonight. I don't know if I'm going to build out all the other sections. We might if we have time. Oh, let me see here. Okay, that's nothing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sculpt some balsa foam and build the walls out of the balsa foam. Now, the balsa foam normally is strong enough and tough enough to build a display if I was taking this to a local tournament. But I'm not. I'm shipping it out to Chicago to my buddy's Dave's house about a week before Adepticon. So I need it to be really robust. So what we're going to do is sculpt the walls, basically the main walls that we're building here out of foam core. We're going to sculpt those out of this balsa foam, which might not be to scale to this thing, because I'm just looking at some of these pieces of balsa foam that I got, and they are not as big. You know what I mean? So this is a 12-inch thing. This is not a 12-inch thing. So we're just going to have to make do. But this is basically just a proof of concept. It's an idea to get us to see in 3D what this is going to be. And give us an idea like, hey, this corner's too dark. We need to open that up, etc., etc. But then we'll cast whatever we sculpt out of the balsa foam. We're going to go ahead and cast it using some products, mostly like smooth-on products, some Umu to make the mold, and some smooth cast, probably smooth cast 300 to make the walls. These are cheap resins that hold up very, very well. They're very tough, and then I don't have to worry about shipping it to Chicago. So the whole idea that we're going back over here now is that we're going to have a very robust display board that after we're done, you have a 4 foot by about 1.5 foot display board. What are you going to do with it? You can't put it anywhere. It's just one giant thing. So we're going to make it modular. So each one of these pieces that the Army fits on is going to wind up becoming a separate 3-walled ruin that folks can use in a game. And MSU Drew 84, thank you for the follow. Hoofton, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've got such awesome things planned. You know what I mean? I can't wait to show you guys. It's going to be really, really cool. And if it doesn't work out, well, then you guys will get a good laugh anyway. I have backup plans for everything, hopefully. But hopefully it's not 2 days before Adepticon and I'm dipping entire armies in Army Painter dip to try to get them done. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I have been there before other tournaments, and that is not fun. All right, so we're going to finish making this window. We'll go about an inch to each end. And I'm just freehanding this, which is pathetic. These are more almost triangles than arches, but that's okay. We're just trying to get a feel for what this is going to look like. And Wiki Wombat, I wish they would talk too. They're getting a lot better about it, you know, with their little sneaky hints and all that stuff. I think gone are the days of GW that just didn't interact with their customers at all. I think they've learned their lesson, I would hope. I think they're doing an outstanding job. The only really big gripe I have with them right now is I'd like to get my White Dwarf on time. It's really it. And yeah, I'm super salty about Imperial Agents. It stings, but they're not going to fix it. So it is what it is. And let's see here. The Driz, thank you for the follow. And Nurgle737, thank you for the follow. And that is a swear jar. If you've watched, and I'm sorry, I apologize, the camera decided that it wanted to be mirrored. But this is Pop Swear Jar from Luke Cage. And that is right there. One of the things I do for folks who are just joining is I collect and create replica movie props. That's why you see this critter back here. Let me move the swear jar so you can see. That's also why I call my Beats Lab sub-level 3. And there's a couple of more of these critters floating around. Earlier in the stream, I was demoing. Talk about each week, I'm going to talk about a different replica prop and talk about the history of that prop. And so this week, really quickly, I'm not going to go over it again. This week was the Graflex 3-cell flash gun, which you guys will recognize as Anakin / Luke Skywalker's lightsaber given to him by Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope. And pretty neat little thing. One of my favorite movie props of all time, ever. So I thought I'd kick off the stream demoing that. All right. What game is it that I'm playing? It is Warhammer 40,000. We also play Age of Sigmar. I also play Team Yankee, which is an awesome 15mm miniatures game. But for the next 3 months at least until March, what we're going to see on this stream is going to be all Warhammer 40K related. Let's see. Sev7, thank you for the follow. Because we are kind of in trouble. We're behind the 8 ball. Adepticon is coming up entirely too fast. At the end of this month, in 2 weeks away, me and Kenny are going to be in Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Open, which is a major Warhammer 40K tournament. Wayland Yutani would like that facehugger back. I am sure they would. It's probably worth, I don't know, billions to the bioweapons division, but they're not getting it. So, I will be doing 15mm stuff. I have an American Army for Team Yankee, and I'm probably going to start Russians as well. So you'll get to see me paint all that stuff and everything, but that'll be well after end of March. That's probably going to be into April because I'll need a break from 40K. That's one of the things that that Adepticon does to people is you come back from Adepticon and it is amazing. It is one of the best experiences ever, but you kind of don't want to do 40K stuff anymore. So we're gonna do this. This is pretty good. It's looking good size, and like I pointed out, it is bigger than the balsa foam that we have. So it looks like the balsa foam is 9 inches. So we're gonna have to scale it down. 9 inches on the nose. So that means I would have failed that charge, guaranteed, unless I had fleet. So we need to change this. This is too big. The floor is going to stay 12 by 12. This has to get cut down, or our scale model is not going to work. All right. Yikes. Okay. And this is why we do things in model form before you start doing things for real. Because otherwise you're a sad panda. And if you notice, I do things more the Adam Savage way than the Jamie Heineman way. Because it's more fun. Let's see here. All right. So we're just going to cut this down. And now just to double check, this is our balsa foam blocks again. Looks like we're good enough here. Yeah. So if you guys can see that, all right. So we got to cut this one down too. Change the, kind of changes the whole scale. Sad. But that's okay. All right. Pandemic Tyler, thank you for the follow. All right, so now cut this down. All right, so now we're looking a little bit nearer to what this part's going to look like. So obviously this this window is way too big the way it is now. And I'll turn it around so you guys can see, because you're just hearing me talk about it and then not seeing what I'm doing. So, all right, so we've got, that's what it looks like now. You can see that big stained glass window, a little bit too low. So we're gonna have to change that. We'll cut a subsequent piece. I'll probably do that off air and have it ready next weekend, because we're running a little bit behind right now where I'd like to be. But it's okay. This side window, fine. It's good. It's got a good height off the ground. It's good. But I don't know. Maybe that big window will work. It'll let a lot of light in. It'll illuminate. We're going to put a little fountain here that it'll illuminate, so it'll work really well. What's this? Flippy for real is saying, if you love whiskey, it's one you haven't had. I'm curious. What whiskey is he talking about? Rich cherry flavor? Huh. This old heresy? No. I don't know what the name of my stream is. Lady Draco Miniatures, thank you for the follow. But yeah, this is going to be, it is a good comparison to like kind of this old house. We are going to be building stuff. We're going to be making terrain. We're going to be casting stuff. We're going to be, like I said, we're going to be making stained glass or fake stained glass. We're going to be wiring stuff up with electronics. All this stuff before March 20th. And then add to all that, we're going to be painting armies extremely quickly. So like next weekend, probably going to be doing penitent engines. And I have to do 6 of them. So I don't think I'm going to spend the whole stream doing them because I still have to build this, you know. So, and we're running tight, and it's like, unfortunately, I've got a lot of irons in the fire. So Sundays are my big hobby days, and that's what we're going to be concentrating on. All right, so, Galvatron coming into the house hot. And Battle Cat, and that is an awesome name, of course. I need to get some He-Man stuff in here. Thank you for the donate. All right, so we got to make the other wall, which in the overall display, the other wall that we're making right now is the one that would be at the far end, and it's going to basically mirror this one, but we want it to just be slightly different, so I'm just going to cut it just kind of randomly, but it is the same type of design, a ruined wall with like a window in it. So we'll make this one maybe a little bit deeper angular here. All right. Oh, it's not liking that. And, if you're cutting stuff with the box cutter and everything, cutting foam and foam core, shaping foam, that will dull your hobby knife really, really fast. So you don't want to be fighting the hobby knife. If it starts getting dull, just go ahead and get a new blade on there. Because when you fight the knife, that's when you get hurt. That's when it skips and jumps, goes into your hand, and you go to the emergency room. All right, so we got that. That looks good. Oh, except that we also got to cut this down because we're doing 9 inches again instead of 12. So that's just a reminder there. So this one is going to let a lot of light in just because we took out a big chunk of the wall. Yeah, Son of Bjorn. Yeah, you're not lying, man. Dull knife is not a good knife. It's deadly, dangerous. All right, a lot of scrap. Wind up using that for other projects. All right, so we've got 3 walls. Feel like I can put a window in that one as well, but we don't need to duplicate effort here. Got to be smarter than the foam. Trace our window. And then cut it out. This is starting to get dull. You see how it jumped there? That's when it gets you. Last time it got me, it was actually this same knife. I was building, you guys might be able to see just in the corner over here, I have an arcade machine that I built from scratch. And while my wife was deployed to Korea, and I had no adult supervision, so I could do whatever I wanted. And I built an arcade machine. And when I was cutting the T-molding with this very knife, it reached out and bit me. And I thought I was going to have to go to the emergency room. But turns out it didn't. Head wounds bleed a lot. That's all I'll say. Wasn't really a head wound. It was actually on my thumb. But when it went off, I put my hand on my head and came away all bloody. So I had assumed it was a head wound. Because the piece of the knife broke off and went flying. Yeah, it was not a pretty scene. There was a lot of blood everywhere, but the blood god got his blood sacrifice, and my arcade machine is tight. Okay. Oh, she's in the Air Force. That's what she was over there for. Well, I was in the Air Force too for a while. So, looks like we've got it, and now I'm gonna grab a little bit of glue and some, let's see. This is your standard Elmer's white glue, all-purpose stuff. But before we do the glue, we're gonna hold this together with some push pins, and then put the glue so we can reference it. And this is being kind of not wanting to open. So we're going to do that. Put this together, and then we'll show some balsaphone. I hear somebody getting witnessed. You chop the tip of your finger off? That's insane. Mo Esky. I have a feeling I know who that is. Friends of mine wrote a story a long time ago that was called The Story Base, and one of the bad guys in there was a guy named Mo Esky. So, if that's not who I think it is, that's a pretty strange coincidence. So, alright, so we've got a push pin in here. Yeah, that's... Did you chop like your whole finger off? Or like just the tip? Or just a piece of it? Like, that sounds crazy, man. Sycophant is now following. Thank you very much. Oh, that's not going in. All right. Another one for good measure. We're going to put in a third one in here because that wall is kind of flimsy. All right. That wall's back there. We're going to throw in, just glue it. And this is just a regular Elmer's glue, glue all. So that's why I'm not being real careful with it. Don't really care if it gets anywhere. It'll come off with water, or you can peel it off. Yeah, 18 to go. 17 to go, looks like. Somebody just got witnessed. Oh, man. Agent Arrow, thank you for the follow. But, wow, that big a piece, man. That sucks, but at the same time, I am not a doctor, but I feel like that might grow back. Seems like you're not going to be like fingerless for a while, but yeah, like you said, that kind of kills your hobby plans. Not doing very much hobbying if you can't. Okay. And I'm feeling like this shiny and chrome. That's right. Honor him by your actions. And Orc Pride, when you saw Fury Road, I gotta ask, did you think of like Gorka Morka? Because that's all I could think about watching that entire movie. It's just like, this is just Gorka Morka. It's an orc movie. If they, Mad Maxi, well, appropriate. We're talking about Fury Road, so that works. But I was like, yeah, it's like, this is Gorka Morka, man. It was as close as to an orc movie as we're ever gonna get. All right, so that wall's in. So these little push pin tricks are the bomb that came from my friend Liz, who is an architect, and she gave me the tech on how best to do this. And I feel like this is turning out well enough that with some texture on there, I can use this as a display board for Kill Team or something like that. That could work really, really well. And that way I don't have to throw away out the foam core. That's pretty cool. For like a local Kill Team or Combat Patrol tourney, I feel like this is about to get reused. All right. One of the things I also wanted to do on this stream is talk about some military tactics and military history, because we are war gamers, and because we play 40K though, where some other war games, they know everything. I got a buddy named Jeremy who plays, Flames of War and a bunch of these historical games, and he can tell you like what the transmission speed of a Tiger was, like just the gnat's ass of details. I don't think we need to get to that, but because we play 40K a lot, we miss out on a lot of the other historical stuff. We talk about the fluff, but we miss on a lot of the historical stuff. So I wanted to kind of just talk about some pivotal critical battles in history. And some of these tactics, even though they don't really translate directly, you'll know, I want to kind of impart some knowledge so that you'll know what a double envelopment is, what enfilade fire is, what what refusing the flank means, and how to pull it off in 40K. So we'll be covering some of that too. Maybe not in the next 3 months, or we'll do it as we can, because like I said, we're being crimped for time with Adepticon just coming up very, very quickly. But looks like we've got a little rough thing for the first section. And keep in mind, we're gonna need 4 more sections, and I underestimated the time that it would take to do this. So, yes, I am gluing both walls on because I wanted to see what one section would look like by itself, because this is going to be the end product, and it'll have both walls on after Adepticon. So when we get back from Adepticon, and you'll kind of see what I mean, I'll go over it. In fact, let me move this out of the way, and I'll pull out our little diagram that we made at the beginning. Move terrain. Okay. So this was our diagram that we made at the beginning, and we talked about how there was going to be 4 different sections, and kind of messed up on the diagram. Now that I'm looking at it, this is going to be its own piece, I think. So we're going to have we're actually going to have 5 sections, and this will be 6 inches wide, like right here in between. That pulpit will go over the 6 inches wide, which will have the Aquila and another stained glass window here, and that way it focuses on the Emperor. And then we've got the 3 different ones here. These are the lights shining through, of course, all the electronics, the fountains with statues on them, and then we're going to have 1 external wall here. That would be this wall. And then we're also going to have 1 external wall here. If you can, I'll move this over so you can see, because it looks like it's off the camera there. Let's see, you were at a tank museum in the U.S. and they knew more about the guy who ran it than than it was across the street from Fort Knox. Oh, okay. Duffer's Drift. I'm going to have to look that up, Ironheaded. I will definitely check that out. So anyway, the other wall is going to be over here. And that's kind of this wall that we just made. So when we're casting all this, because we're going to cast the back walls, we're going to cast the floor, we're going to cast this side wall, and we're going to cast this. So the idea is that at the end, instead of having to manufacture all this stuff, we manufacture it once, cast it 4 times. And then we've got really robust, unbreakable stuff. At the end of the entire endeavor, we don't want to just throw this stuff away. I mean, the foam core we can get rid of, but the casted pieces of resin, I mean, we're going to have molds. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. And there's really no limit. This resin that we're going to be using is probably Smooth Cast 300 is probably what we're going to use. Oh. Cheery77, thank you for the follow. I probably know who that is too. But we're going to have these pieces of resin. We're going to have this stuff. So we might as well not just get rid of it. So what we're going to do is have the floor, the back, this wall, and this wall. Instead of just being limited to a 4-foot display like we have here with this wall and this wall, we now have a 3-walled ruin with, and you can cut the floor or whatever. You can put whatever you want here. People can use it as a display board. People can use it as line of sight blocking terrain. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could put another one of these walls right here. And you've got a 4-walled thing. Now, it's a pretty big chunk of terrain. It's pretty big, you know, but it works well as a centerpiece to a table to kind of dominate that space where for a good game. So that's kind of what I was doing. I was trying to think of how to repurpose it. And that's why I'm gluing the other wall on. Long story short, that's why I glued the other wall on. So I could see how big this would be in actuality. And we can see you can easily fit 1,000 points on here. And that's not a problem. So fused. I'm doing all the casting if I didn't know. Or yeah, next level. I see what he's referring to. Yeah, I'm going to be casting it because I got to transport it out to Chicago, and I'm not driving. If I was driving, I would just do everything in the everything in balsa foam, and then transport it out. But if it has to be so it looks like glue has gotten on our, oh dear, I have trodden in Monsieur's bucket. All right, so it seems like we've covered that. I'm going to wander over here again and see what else we have left to cover. I wanted to build the entire display tonight, but I seem to have misunderestimated how long that was going to take, and I unfortunately don't have. All right, so let's see here. Let's go back. All right, so here's what we were going to cover. We talked about the road ahead, and we briefly talked about the Adepticon overview. We showed the display concept, did the replica prop of the week, cutting foam core, rough foam core model. That's where we're at right now, and balsa foam sculpting. We are probably not going to get to that tonight on this stream, but I can show you the balsa foam, and it is actually a really neat stuff. Yeah, this stream just blew by. I didn't have it really surprised me how fast time went here. All right, so let me show you guys balsa foam, and then we'll probably call it a night after that. so I don't start rambling and boring people to death. It's probably too late. Probably already did that. All right, changing this again. All right, we're back here. All right, so here's our little display. This stuff here, it is called balsa foam. I don't know if the overhead cam is going to get a good shot of that. You can get it at, sometimes you can get it at Michael's, at Dick Blick. I ordered all this stuff from Dick Blick, which is an art supply store, and I'll bring it over here so you guys can see what it is. This is the soft density balsa foam. They make two different kinds, and of course, webcam being reversed. I don't know if you guys are seeing it the right way or the wrong way or mirrored. Yeah. So this balsa foam stuff is essentially a high density foam, and you can sculpt it. It's kind of like wood, but Rev153, thank you for the follow. And I'm just gonna open this. And I ordered a lot more than I would need because I didn't. First of all, you're gonna ruin stuff, but I also didn't realize that there were two sleeves, two parts to this, and this is gonna be the thickness of our wall. You can see it's firm. It's not easy. I mean, it's easy to break. If I Conan this, it's gonna snap. So we glue these two together, and they come in 6x9. Hold on a second. I'll show you. It's 9 inches by 6 inches, and so we can glue two of these together, and that gives us our wall like that. The really cool thing was that let's see, the name of that hobby store was Dick Blick. So Thulsa Doom, yes. Steel isn't strong, boy. Flesh is stronger. All right. We need the metric system stat. Yeah, I think I want to say like that we're like the only country that doesn't do it anymore. That doesn't do it, because I think Burma was one of the countries and they adopted it, and maybe North Korea. And yeah, so this balsa foam is really easy to cut. I'm going to sacrifice a piece and show you guys how you can sculpt it. One of the things you want to be careful of, and I'm just going to kind of go around it. When we're sculpting this stuff, you definitely want to wear a mask, because bits of this particulate will get into your lungs and it will actually just stay there. And it will reduce your lung capacity. So, but you can shave it very easily, as you can see as it comes off, you know. And this is a neat trick that if you grab like a old paintbrush, it dents, so you can just do, you know, I hit that one too hard, so but you can just do this really lightly, and it gives you a really, really cool kind of stone texture. And that's what we're gonna. Particle Vagrant, thank you for the follow. And I'll show you guys in a second here this stone texture that we're gonna do. And we're running up on, oh, I'm not wearing my watch, so why am I looking at my wrist? Awesome. Synapse 88, you have been witnessed. Onwards towards Valhalla. Alright, so you can get, and I'll show you guys here, a very kind of interesting stone texture by just doing what I was doing with the end of the paintbrush there. And it's very easy to just make, you know, things that look like bricks for walls. So I'm just going to loosely, we don't want to cut too deep because this is just going to be bricks. Oh, Synapse 88 again. Okay. So then you just do, you know, whatever you want as far as like brickwork. And obviously we'd have to make these lines a little bit deeper because we are going to be casting this. So a line this thin is just going to show up as a texture to a rubber mold. So that's not going to work. So we need to make it thicker. We'll use some sculpting tools to make that thicker, and we can just shape it out. You know, it's very, very easy to work with, and yet it is, you know, when you score it, it snaps right off. But it is, you know, strong in other ways. So that's why I kind of didn't want to ship this. But if it was a local tournament, like if I lived in Chicago, I would totally just make the display out of this stuff. And it is inexpensive, works very well. Really good to make masters out of, artist blanks, stuff like that. All right. Let's see here. And yeah, we made it to 89 follows, so not quite there. But it looks like we've kind of hit our goal as far as oh, there's another one. All right, so we're at 90 now. Okay, and I gotta get something to drink, guys. I apologize. And that is our friend Time Winning. Thank you for the follow. That is just cool. And unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to wrap up here. It shows 106 watching now. If we can get, 11 more follows, then I will give away. We'll do a giveaway, keyword giveaway. But I can only kind of hang out for maybe another 5-10 minutes, and then we'll close out this stream. I think it was all right. You guys, let me know if you liked what I'm showing, if you wanted anything different. I mean, this is your stream too, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I've got some knowledge I want to impart. If I'm not meeting your needs as far as like what you're expecting to see from the hobby, let me know. We can, there's an open curriculum. I do have to build a display board, and I do have to paint 3 armies. But within the scope of that, there are different things we can show. There's stuff I can do off camera and concentrate on whatever you guys would rather watch. So please let me know. Please give me feedback, either through the chat or on the stream or on Facebook. My page on Facebook is Apoc Prod. You can see it on there. I'm on Twitter at Michael Haspel. You can see that on there as well. And more dancing. Okay, that's a problem, because there's actually a United Nations sanction against me dancing ever. So I'm not allowed to do that. Ward Sylvania, thank you for the follow. That's 90. We'll see if we can get a couple more, 10 more. I can't do maths. So it's just like, we'll just see if we can get a couple more. Uh-oh, looks like the stream, something's going wonky with the stream. All right. Yeah, next week we'll cut up some balsa foam. We're going to basically remake this in balsa foam. And we're probably going to do some painting as well. I feel like I need to get a head start on some penitent engines. We're at 92 followers, looks like. We need to get 8 more. And then we'll do a giveaway for a fairly cool Games Workshop game that is small, portable, hard, real hard, but a lot of fun. And it supports, I want to say, 1 to 4 players. Let me look at it and see. It is a lot of fun. Oh, 1 to 6 players. I didn't even know that. I've only played it with up to 4 players. It is based on one of the oldest Games Workshop properties. It is based on Warhammer 40k, so it is not Talisman or anything like that. It is Warhammer 40k based. I will give you another hint. It is not made by Games Workshop. Although it is their stuff. It is a fun game. I play it all the time. And let's see. What can I say without giving away too much? I think in about a year or so, it might be a collectible because it might not be around anymore. That is... it's a lot cheaper than Relic. Have I ever seen the book Little Wars by H.G. Wells? Yes, I have. I have that book. We can even talk about it on next stream. It's one of the books that I think every wargamer should own and should read. You can get... I'm saying a lot. I just realized that. You can get a PDF of it readily. Just do a Google search and you'll find Little Wars. It is enlightening to read how much of our hobby has come out of that book. I think they use coins to figure out who won charges and stuff like that. And they used actual physical little pop gun cannons to actually knock down their toy soldiers and everything like that. And they play on the floor. And level of detail, I think that's it, was thank you for the follow. Couple more to go. We can do it, guys. Come on. We can get this. And yeah, it's not Fury of Dracula. Somebody might have guessed it. But yeah, Fury of Dracula is a pretty awesome game. But yeah, it's... Why do you not have... yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna... Come on, guys. 7 more. I feel like we can get 7. I feel like we can get 7 more, and then I'll just... Is it a jackal? Is it a jackal? No, it is not a jackal, but that is awesome. Really good reference. Oh, and yeah, also as an aside, I am an author. I write fantasy, science fiction, and horror. My debut novel comes out July 18th. You can pre-order it right now on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, kind of everywhere. It is fairly insane book, and I'll let you just read the synopsis on those websites because I can't really do it insane justice. I'll do a dramatic reading at some point and explain it, but it's pretty crazy. Hungry Hippos, a 40k version of Hungry Hippos. And we got another witness. So, and if we don't make it this time, we'll try again next stream. This stream kind of got off to a rocky start, and we got our time messed up, and all kinds of different things happened. So, but I feel like this will be pretty cool. We're going to do next stream. We'll do some painting. I'll have a new prop. Haven't decided what it'll be yet, but it'll be a cool movie prop. And we'll talk about that. We might start talking about, some military battles. Probably not as obscure as the one Ironhead had brought up. It'll probably be, along the lines of the bigger ones: Marathon, Thermopylae, Agincourt, stuff like that. A lot more like ancient, or medieval, maybe early modern, so that it applies to the tabletop games that we play. Got another witness. We only got 6 to go. Come on, guys. We could do this. Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot for digging the setup and the hobby items. But yeah, I'm still getting. I apologize for gazing down at the iPad and everything. I got to come up with a new setup for that because I don't really like that it's taking me away from the stream. But I will finish the foam core version of the display offline so that we don't waste stream time showing that. I mean, you guys have seen me cut foam, you've seen me shape it, you've seen the concept.
Marine squad deployed.
Yeah, we got a drop pod coming in, and I missed who it was. Oh no. Yeah, I gotta look because this name was long and I missed it, and I want to give him a shout out. And let's see, Salam Milla Mad Ding Dong. Okay. Oh, you guys are asking. I guess I'm being told some people are asking about this plaque. This is a Space Marine helmet. I'll take it down next time so I can bring it right up to the camera and you guys can see it. It's basically just a Space Marine helmet that I was trying to make. The back part of the helmet didn't work. And remember before when I said don't believe anything I say? That's not what really happened. A buddy of mine sent me this, and it came as a helmet in 2 parts. So I just took the front part out, made a plaque. It says, "And they shall know no fear," and then it has a bunch of little quotes on here. Like the foolish man puts his trust in luck, the wise man puts his trust in the emperor, even the man who has nothing can still give his life. You know, all kinds of kind of imperial propaganda. And then I made these purity seals to just hang off of it, and it's pretty decent. Made it on the cheap. Come on, guys, we can get a couple more follows. And oh, it's Arabic. Well, I apologize profusely for butchering that. But I get it now. Now that you've broken it up, I understand. I get what you were doing with that. I see what you're done. Now, as soon as you said it's Arabic, I'm like, aha, okay. I should have a copy of the Guardsman's Primer in the diorama. Oh, yeah. I will write that down. I actually have that upstairs. I also have that Witch Hunter book that they had come out with for Sisters. So, Guardsman's Primer and Witch Hunter book. Yeah, too bad they don't make... Well, they make a Xenos book. That might be hard to get. But it's not small. It's pretty big. It was like a big picture book. And I don't think they've made anything for the Grey Knights, but I do have a Necronomicon from Evil Dead. So that could double as like a Demon Hunter book. And maybe that's the prop we'll do next weekend. Is a Demon Hunter book or something. Got a couple more follows. Come on, we can do this. We are at 96. Highest level painting. Outstanding. That's really well done. And Richter Scale Studios, thank you very much for the follow. And we are so close. 96. But man. Oh well. I think I'm gonna have to end the stream, guys. We'll go maybe another 2 minutes, see if we can get. I mean, we're at 98. They're 99. All right, come on, we can do this. We can do this. Klaatu Barata Nikto. That's right. We're gonna wait. We'll wait. So this is Void Dragon from Mars. Oh, the Void Dragon. That's some dope Necron stuff here. One more follow. We can do this, and then you guys get to watch me mess up a giveaway. we'll figure our way out of that. Come on, we got one more. We can do this. Necronomicon. That's right. Klaatu Barata, and then he couldn't remember the last word. Necktie. Does anybody know where those words came from? The Klaatu Barata Nikto? Other than Army of Darkness. Does anybody know? I know. I'll let you guys know but I want to see if anybody know what it is. We could do a practice raffle while we wait. Let's do that. We'll try to do that so that I can. It is from the day the earth stood still, iron-headed, coming in hot with the answer. All right. Oh, look at my bald head. All right. We'll switch to face cam and we'll lower. Oh, the Aquila came loose halfway through the stream. I guess I didn't notice that. All right. We'll have to repair that. It is a sign. All right. Let us see. And we could very well have technical difficulties. No, look at that. It is going. And there we have it. Absinthe coming in hot with 100. Is that 100 follows or is that 99? We'll wait and see if it updates. I feel like that's 100. I feel like that's 100. All right, so please bear with me here. We're gonna do. Yeah, that is 100. Warboy says so. I believe him. All right. So we're going to do a keyword, or do we want to do active user? Looking for some help here. Spiky or next level?
Marine squad deployed.
And we got another one, 101. All right. That is tight. Last guy is Tuggies for the win, which is an awesome name. All right, so we're going to do a keyword raffle. Looks like people are going to be saying here, keyword. So the keyword is going to be, hold on a second. Let me transition back to the face cam so I can see. Keyword is going to be exclamation point Hulk, and I haven't put it in yet, so don't go yet. Let me do that. Okay, I'm getting a lot of stuff confused here. It's going to be exclamation point Hulk, all lowercase. So exclamation point Hulk, and the reason we're doing that is because what I'm giving away is Death Angel, the card game for Space Hulk. This is the core set, not the expansions. It is a phenomenal game. You can play this by yourself. You can play it with up to 6 people. It is a really, really great game. Stop playing solitaire. Stop being a buster. You know what I mean? This is way better. A lot more fun. Brutal game. Brutal. Merciless. Really captures the entire atmosphere of Space Hulk. The whole idea of the confined hallways, everything like that. And with Deathwing out, you might see me playing some Deathwing because I'm also going to be streaming some games as well. And we will, let's see here. Let me set up a timer for this so that we can have a proper countdown. We'll go 2 more minutes to let everybody get in there. And let me see, I'm going to add. Looks like I don't have a timer on the screen. That's critical error, huh? Let me so we'll fix that right now. Looks like I got a small timer. We got about a minute and 20 seconds left. And we'll try to do like a small type giveaway and everything every stream. Make sure folks lock Infinity. Thank you for the follow. It's awesome. We're really good here. Yeah, it sounds like the. Oh, thank you, Wiki Wombat, for the congrats. Oh, there wasn't a message in chat that didn't show up. Okay, we're gonna have to troubleshoot that. If you're playing the Long War drinking game, do a shot. I've got my whiskey right here. Oh man, oh that's good. That is some 291, which is a Colorado Springs based whiskey. They use aspen to give it a Colorado flavor. Oh no, your daughter's having a nightmare. It's not good. I think, Dave, I think if you just enter it once, that's the way it works. It doesn't just sit there and go over and over again. It doesn't give you extra stuff. LT4284, he's sure that's iced tea. It is not iced tea. All right. So that seems like that is over. We're going to go back to do the actual giveaway now. Go in here, and we're going to see who wins. All right. Darkness Nam has won the giveaway. Go ahead and whisper chat to me, and I will get that out to you this week. So that is pretty awesome, man. Debut stream. Thank you, everybody who came out to watch my debut stream. This was way more fun than I thought it would be. And I apologize for not being able to finish out the entire display, but you guys saw what I did. It's pretty much that times 3 more times. So we're just gonna thank you very much, Ulrich 2010. Had a blast. I cannot honestly wait until next Sunday. But oh wait, it isn't next Sunday. Next Thursday, I'm gonna be streaming. I'll get that information out to you guys. It's gonna be a short stream, not gonna be a hobby stream. Gonna be a game stream because next Thursday, Sanctus Reach, which is a Warhammer 40k computer game, is supposed to drop, and I will play it for an hour and you guys can watch me flail around and suck, but it'll give you a good idea what kind of game it is. It is a turn-based strategy game, very much like Chaos Gate or stuff like that. I'm trying to remember the name of the other one. Final Liberation, I think it was called, which is, we're now going back to the 90s, turn-based strategy 40k games. And this is one that's made by Slytherin Studios, well-respected studio. They did 40k Armageddon, which is essentially epic. So they're doing that. Oh, Evan wants to face down my army at Adepticon. I do not, because I will lose. So, thank you for joining the stream, and yeah, it's going to be a short stream, or Pride. It's going to be short. It's going to be like an hour, hour and a half. It's just going to be me running through the game, showing people what the game is about, so they can make an informed decision. I think it's an inexpensive game from a good studio. If you like turn-based strategy, I feel like you guys might like this. It is Space Wolves against Orcs. That is correct. It's based on the Sanctus Reach campaign book that GW put out, I guess about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I don't know. But that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. I'm going to get off here and finish my whiskey and then go play some XCOM or something. And thank you so much. And that's going to do it for me. And I am out.